everybody, and welcome to the newest session of Masks, the Green Sun here on Indoor Adventures. Today is March 32nd, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventure, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us. The Discord link is off to the side over there, or you can find the link in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But if you already support us on YouTube, you already support us on Patreon and Twitch and all of those other great places, and you're trying to think, where can I go to help support this wonderful show even more? Guess what? If you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have, that's right, Tia masks. We have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them in all 5 of her glorious chromatic colors, as well as multiple different styles of masks now. Wings has actually updated them, so we have the trifold masks, the standard ones. There's all sorts of stuff up there, where all of the proceeds from said masks go to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, KyleWithAnN, who are you playing today?
I didn't have my thing on the unmute button. Hi everyone, I'm KyleWithAnN. Today I will be playing Aurora, who is the star, much like myself. Anyways, we both use she, her pronouns.
And GB.
Greybeard Stavern, and today I'll be playing Cody Johnson, the Bull.
Hell yeah. And Satan, who you playing?
Hi everyone, my name's Satan, and today I will be playing Aftershock, or Luciana, the Reformed. We both use she, they pronouns.
Next up, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Reeves, also known as Caleb, and I'm playing the Janus, and we're just a sweet good boy who wants to protect the people he cares about.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your voice in the sky. So, let's kick off with a little bit of a recap. So last week, when we ended up being able to play, Aurora, you had called in Luciana and Cody to an after-school study session up in your high-profile apartment. It was there that you revealed that you had video evidence displaying all of these heroic activities that had taken part in the Midgrove Industrial Forest not several days prior, to which, Luciana rightly claimed that it did appear to be a little bit of blackmail that you were trying to get this group together. However, you decided that you were going to meet up possibly the next Friday for a study session. It was to be decided. You really hadn't talked about it a whole lot. However, it was at that point, though, that Caleb was interacting with a fellow Janus, a woman named Lorraine Windmere, who asked Caleb if he would like to come by to a warehouse that she had in the dock ward to, help train develop some of his powers. And to be fair, Caleb did learn that his extent of being able to communicate with crows was not limited to the specific species of bird, but was actually more of like an overarching bird-related thing. Caleb, you ended up bringing Luciana with you, and during your training session, you ended up meeting a rather poignant individual named Drew. We all know him as the extremely sus white dude with dreads. Nobody likes this guy. But Luciana, you have had a previous interaction with this individual. And as we left off last session, Luciana, you and Caleb had exited the warehouse. Luciana, you were kind of having a well-deserved panic attack as you were making your way back to your vehicle, back to your truck. You and Caleb both got into the vehicle and off from the exit way of said warehouse. You watched Drew put his hoodie up, hop onto his white longboard, and then just begin skating off. So that is where we are going to pick up. As Luciana, you and Caleb just barreled out of that place after like he had gotten into the car. You found a separate parking lot that wasn't near here. You've taken off your helmet and are just like hyperventilating. And Caleb, you are still like in full costume. Your friend has taken off their helmet and is clearly not having a good time. But a message was sent to Aurora letting her know that you guys were on your way for a study session after this.
Yeah. Crow takes off his mask and you can see like genuine concern in Caleb's face. And he's like, hey, we're out. Are you all right? Take some deep breaths.
She's just like knuckle white hands on the wheel and just like the forehead against it, trying to calm themselves down. And
So I assume this is about that dude?
she just nods.
Okay. I believe that there is bad vibes coming from him.
Of course there are. He has dreads and he's a white man.
I wasn't gonna say it, but I saw he approached you. Did he figure out who you were?
I don't think so. It would be really, really bad if he did.
Okay.
Like really bad.
Noted. You don't have to fill me in if you're not comfortable, but I've got your back.
She pauses for a moment and she looks to you and says, the only thing I'm going to say is that I knew him before. He kind of helped me with my powers, and I saw him kill someone, Caleb.
I see. That's hard.
And it wasn't self-defense. It wasn't. We weren't. They were just a civilian. But my mast hat slipped and they saw me, and he just, without a second thought, just took their life.
That worries me.
He's not a good person.
And now he's here in our town,
Training
scooping up and
heroes.
training rookie heroes. I will put it on the list of bad shit going on right now.
Yeah.
You want to go deal with Aurora You can see like reluctance in his face as he says that.
No, but
I can just show up myself. You can just go home if you're not feeling it.
I can't do that. Despite how she may see this, if I have a group around me that can actually fight and protect people, then we might be. I can't just let him run around.
It sounds more and more like there's a couple things that we could use each other's help dealing with.
Yes, but she doesn't understand. This isn't just running around and fighting litterers and people with overdue parking tickets. This is fighting people with powers that can kill you.
Yeah. It's really scary.
And I know you never signed up for any of this. And I can't ask you to put yourself in danger on my behalf. But I don't know what he has up his sleeve, but it's not good.
I signed up for this when I put on the mask. So I'm with you to the end, friend.
Thank you.
Now, let's go talk someone out of blackmail. I didn't think she'd stoop that low. Kind of
Yeah,
doesn't
well,
fit with my picture of her, but you know, the parasocial thing between people on the screen and your relationship, I could go on for a long time about that,
yeah,
but I'll spare you.
she's not necessarily the pretty princess style that she makes it out to be. I mean, even I wouldn't stoop as low as blackmailing someone with their anonymity, and trust me, with my past, that's saying something.
Yeah, I think they don't know what they're doing.
This might be a fame grab, but she is putting herself in danger. I don't think she realizes how much danger. This isn't just a show. This is real people, real lives at stake.
Yeah,
And I don't trust that woman that asked you to go there either.
oh yeah, zero. I haven't trusted her since the moment I met her.
She I think she's one of those that you could easily push over the edge from hero to villain. I
When
mean,
you put it that way, I feel even more pressed to make sure that doesn't happen.
yeah. I mean, every villain's the hero of their own story.
Except for Trash Man.
Maybe.
I should be clear. That's who I'm tracking right now. He's the dude littering around the park.
Yeah.
But he does it at like 3 a.m. and well, I need to set up a night where I get some sleep and then I'm out. But
Why don't
it
you
kind of
just
seems
let
like very small scope now.
yeah, why don't you just let the the watch group thingamabob, the Karens, whatever they're called, take care of it.
Because they're all old and they don't stay up past like 9 o'clock.
Well, I mean, it's only bothering them.
And me. I hang out in the park. I don't like to see it dirty. Plus, think of the animals who could choke on the trash.
Well, why don't you just set up a camera?
Well, because I have the crows and they already tell me of his movements.
Have you caught him yet?
Like I said, I haven't had a night where I just figured out what time he's in the park. So then all of this came up. The whole cult thing, like being tracked by the watch. It's hard to live two lives, okay? Stuff.
Trust me, I know.
What have you done?
I don't really think you want the answer to that one.
I meant like, who've you taken down? But if any of us
I
have taken
don't
down
think you really want the
anyone,
answer to that one.
that's yeah. Well, we'll wait on that one. Why don't we head out?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you again.
Of course.
She'll just turn up the music and just drive out.
Cruise. Yep.
Yeah.
You know exactly
And
where you're going.
I
yeah.
also roll to mechanically comfort and support them.
Aftershock, do you have any conditions?
I do not believe so.
Yeah,
I have not been giving any conditions now.
Yeah, because the comfort and support is
On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they
okay.
open up to you.
Cool. So yeah, you can definitely make that roll.
And on a 10 plus, I can also add a team to the pool or clear condition on myself.
Yeah. So roll that comfort or support. It's plus mundane.
10 exactly.
Ooh. So you get to clear one of your own conditions and you get to help out Luciana.
Yeah, I think I'm going to clear insecure because I'm feeling rather confident.
Hell yeah.
So I mark a potential then, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Awesome. Hell yeah. So, someone has been comforted and supported. Meanwhile, speaking of parasocial relationships, Cody, you know that today is study day with your online bestie Aurora. So, do you show up early? Do you show up fashionably late? Like, what is Cody's plan for the meeting time?
Oh, I think he needed to drop off stuff for G-Paw, so he shows up on time.
Okay.
Like, you need to take these brownies I made over to, Mrs. Crenshaw. and Cody's like, and, he was, had a decent shirt on and stuff, and he was like, I was going to get there early. And so now he's just on time, not early.
And I feel like, I feel like you would be at the, I think it's fun if you're at the, base of the elevator at the same time that the other two show up again. Like, you're always just, hands in pockets, waiting to go up whenever everyone else always comes by. Aftershock and Crow, you both are still in costume. Are you going to be taking off your costume to go and visit with Aurora? Are you going to be climbing up the side of a building in costume to I am Batman? What is the plan for the two of you?
I think Luciana definitely took off their helmet, changed jackets, probably changed shirts, just told Caleb, look over there, don't look at me. And just switch shirts real quick and put on a different jacket. Change back
Uh,
her boots. Probably.
Caleb is masked back on and very explicitly still in costume, but he's going up the elevator.
Okay. Sure. So Cody, you are standing at the base of the elevator. You hear the door open up, so you instinctively look at where the sound is, and you see Luciana looking like she just ran for a while. Like her face is a little flush from heavy breathing. And then standing next to her is the dude from the park the other day. Like
Bird bucket.
Bird Bucket is standing there, like full costume, goggles, everything, but just like walking through like the lobby of this hotel. And I feel like thankfully no one else is here right now.
Yeah. Luciana's walking in like this is normal. Her walking with this crow guy is normal.
And you guys notice Cody's got like deck shoes and khakis and like a decent shirt on. It's like the first time you haven't seen him in jeans, Converse, and a hoodie, and like ever.
Yeah, he dressed up today.
Yeah. So he just sees you guys and kind of, hey.
I feel like you guys are all like waiting for the elevator to go, and it finally comes down, and you hear the ding, and the door opens up, and there's like a woman who's like looking down at her phone, and just doesn't even like look up from it. Like she just walks out of the elevator and around you guys, like doesn't even pay attention that there is a man in a full fucking bird costume just standing there. Like to her, like it's like when RJ will send me videos of people doing weird shit on the New York subway, and nobody's paying any attention to the people doing weird shit. Like you're just used to it. It's a thing. It happens. Don't look. Don't make eye contact.
It's the somebody else's problem drive.
Exactly. So like again, person just sort of like walks out and just, oh, sorry, like excuse me, like they make their way out of the door. Elevator opens. You three are able to get in. Doors close. And then I feel like, again, very silent, just riding up the elevator. Probably like Spanish Flea music playing in the background, like boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Bang! And the doors open up again.
Thank God.
Then out into the hallway, knock, knock, knock on Aurora's door. Aurora, everyone has arrived like a few minutes, give or take, on time. I feel like it's like you have like everything set up, like same vegetable platter, not the same one.
No, this time,
Ooh.
she went all out and got pizza. But like only one box of pizza and only cheese, because she's like, I don't know what they all like. Cheese is a safe bet.
Oh yeah.
Maybe like 1-2 liters of a soda.
It's AC cola.
It's like, yeah.
Just like, God, how can I relate to these teens?
It's a Dr. Soda.
Yes, exactly. Mr.
Yeah.
Pibb.
But
no,
yeah,
we can't have any of that branded shit. It's
Oh,
AC cola.
sorry.
AC,
cola.
not
Yeah,
RC.
yeah.
AC.
Right,
And it's
AC.
like a lightning bolt on the side because it's got caffeine in it.
AC/DC cola. Wait, damn it!
Shit,
not
we're in the
again.
same boat.
yeah,
Erase
but
the lightning bolt.
I think before they show up, you would see like Aurora just kind of like pacing around her apartment, kind of just like picking at her nails, just kind of being like really antsy. And then like she'll hear like knocking on the door or something, and
It's just Luciana kicking the door again.
And when
and she'll
you
like
looking
go ahead.
through the like little lens in the door, like the security view, there's just a dude in a bird. Like it's the bird. It's fucking
It's
trash
the
can
trash
man.
bird.
Yeah, it's Trash Bird from the other day. He's just like standing in the hallway with Luciana and Cody.
And Cody is like looking down and over at Luciana like, why are you kicking the door? He doesn't say anything. He just looks.
She just looks back. Like, say something about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, door will swing open, and Aurora is, still like kind of in like her presentable, I wear this to school and put in a little effort look. And we'll just be like, hello. I remember you. You're Trash Bird.
He visibly frowns and says, "It's Crow."
Oh,
Sweet.
I should note that I do have my hood up.
Yeah.
To keep the hair tame.
Like, yeah.
well, gotta say, big fan of your work. You've been killing it on the scene lately. So, please,
Are we gonna
come
keep
on,
talking
come
in the
on
hall? Yeah. Or Jesus Christ.
And she'll, swing the door open and, let everyone in and be like, pizza if you want some. It's cheese.
I'm lactose intolerant.
You can scrape off the cheese.
Thanks for the bread.
You're welcome.
She's not lactose intolerant.
Crow walks over confidently, like he's been in this apartment a million times before, grabs a slice of pizza, leans against the counter and says, "So I hear you're blackmailing my friends."
Blackmail is a strong word. We've been over this already.
Sorry,
I feel
she's
like
threatening to expose
threatening-
me if I don't do what she wants.
Yeah, threatening the
Anonymity.
the sanctity of their personal identities, I would consider pretty heavy blackmail.
I mean, I don't know how much information you can truly glean from the footage, but
My
If it's
face is
that big
just
of a
clearly
deal.
out there.
Have you
like a split second, maybe.
ever thought about, have you ever had a dedicated stalker, Aurora?
Oh, probably a few.
I mean, like, enough to, like, try to get into your house. Things like that.
I mean, it's very possible, but I suppose they never make it that far.
People can glean a lot from just a little bit of footage. And it only takes one wrong person to see it.
Well, I don't think it's going to come to that because I think last we left off, we were kind of feeling we're feeling a little lukewarm, I think, which is better than an outright no. I'll take lukewarm. Work up to it.
Listen. I will do this. Fine. But you're not going to be running the show. We all get to say what and do what we want here. This isn't your little pop star group. This is some business deal. Out there, whenever we do whatever we do, it's important that we actually get along. Because right now, if you're in danger, I'm not going to give two shits about saving you.
I mean, I've seen otherwise, but that's fine.
So Cody had walked in and he'd taken one slice of pizza and folded it on top of the other slice and pulled it out like a sandwich and was going to bite into it. And then it was like blackmail. And the whole time he's just been holding this pizza sandwich.
I feel like it's
just,
like the end is steadily like
Exactly.
losing structural integrity.
And he's been looking back and forth the whole time like, oh, where the fuck is this going? And the pizza droop is occurring. So
Roll a d6 for me, Cody.
go have a D6? Where's the D6?
You should.
Oh,
This game uses 2 of them.
and it uses real
Only thing
dice.
they use.
I forgot it uses real dice. I totally pulled a Kylan. 6.
All right, so 6. So Cody, as you're like looking back and forth, pizza sandwich losing integrity, you can see moments before it happens that the cheese is about to fall and land on your perfect like starch white shirt. You have but mere moments to pull back, but thankfully with the 6 that you rolled, you are able to avoid a really annoying stain that you would have to get like a bleach pen for, and those are expensive if you're in high school.
And yeah, and so he nommed like half of the pizza sandwich in a single bite to stop the cheese slop. And so now he's just chewing while they're arguing.
Crow takes a deep breath and says, anyway, sorry, that's been on my mind, and thus I came off a little hot. I understand you're trying to form a team. Do you want to tell me exactly why I'm here?
Presses play.
Okay.
Is it the same spiel?
Yep. Same spiel as last week, where Caleb, you watch as this dynamic team effort unfolds. You manage to fight off all of these cultists who are like summoning flame swords in their hands and shooting fire. Literally a flame elemental is there. And you watch as all this unfolds.
I look cool as hell in all of that.
You look dope, yeah.
You do look pretty cool, not gonna lie.
I mean, even the bucket smash was like impromptu and cool.
That bounce off the shield is pretty dope.
Yeah. Not something I've done before. I assume that's you?
Oh, fuck. You didn't know? Oh, damn it. It just dawns on Cody that he didn't know or whatever beforehand. So he's like, yeah.
Yeah. See, I didn't tell them because I didn't have your permission to tell them. Because I respect your anonymity, even if I don't like you that much. Straight looks to Aurora.
That's a little bit of a pointed dig, I feel like. But anyways, yes, you did look awesome. In fact, you all looked awesome. And although we don't have much experience working together, the time that we did share, I felt was, I see a spark there. I really do see something there. And sure, at this point, you may not consider me a friend. And that's fine, really. I get it. It's nothing personal. But
No, it's personal.
I think we could be good business partners, a good team.
Okay, what's the plan?
Well, I mean, I of course have people who can handle everything on the back end.
If you don't have any points of action, I have a couple very pressing ones.
Well, I mean, I was getting to that, but please, I'm interested in what you have to say.
Sorry, I assumed when you said you had people on the back end, you meant you were going to have people arrange things.
Oh, no, I just mean, everything that we may need in terms of, well, not, like my levels of publicity, but, a little something, just enough to get a little something up there.
Right.
Okay.
But I think my first point of concern, and Crow, you can tell me if our points align here. She'll go back to the fire cultist and be like, I'm not really a fan of these guys.
Yeah, that's my fault. If I left, they'd follow me.
Yeah, but no.
I wouldn't have
Snip
taught
this in
them
the bud.
anyway.
let's stop this. Stop the problem while we're ahead, I guess.
That's definitely a point. Sorry, what's your name? And he's looking at you, Cody.
It's it's a work in process. It may be Custis or something. I'm working on it. I'm Cody.
Your real name, yeah.
I'm Cody.
I can call you Cody. All right. Cody, you said they're after you. Do you want to expand on that? How do you know?
So, and he looks like, okay, I'm going to tell someone. I've never told anyone this before. But, so the night that, the green, all that happened, I tried to stop these people from picking on this little kid, and the little kid stabbed me because he was trying to get into their gang, so they were giving him a beat down. And as I was laying there bleeding out, he's like, they're gonna think I'm crazy, so he stops. A goddess came down and kissed me on the forehead, and I got superpowers.
That is that's an origin story that sells. That's amazing.
Crow
No, but seriously though.
is still just staring at you like, great, all right, I'm with you so far.
Luciana's just thinking about it I guess.
He's too humble to say, hey, I tried to save a child and hence she thought me worthy. He won't say that part at all.
It sucks that you got stabbed. That hurts, but at least you got cool powers.
Yeah, I think it was all anyway. But she has an ancient enemy, and the cultists are his henchmen. he's like not believing it himself.
Which goddess?
Securitas.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is.
The,
Oh my God.
the enemy?
I'm eating this shit up.
Vulcan.
At this point, Crow has taken out a notebook and is taking notes. Okay, I'll need to do more research into these two. It could be important.
What about the golden seed? Does it have to do?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. Do you know if this enemy god has anything to do with gold?
I don't. No, that doesn't fit into the equation as much as I know.
Crow reaches into his cloak, which I think because you're next to me, you can see that inside of the cloak is every square inch is a pocket. Just a
What about some
repeating pocket.
drugs?
So he reaches into one and then another and then a third and then pulls out this golden seed and the one he split in half, and he says, these both dropped from the cultists from their robes.
Like in Mario?
Not quite. When we punched them and they fell over, rolled out of their pocket, but close enough. Yeah, I guess he doesn't have the whole seed on him. He just has the half seed. As far as I can tell, it was a pomegranate seed, but it looks like it's been turned to gold. And he passes a half to Cody and a half to Aurora and says, you can still see some of the natural structures in there.
Cody takes it and then he's like, don't write my real name, man. Custos. Put that down.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
I think Aurora's just gonna look at Crow just
That name won't sell.
no, this is a bad one.
Why don't you keep workshopping that name?
All right. I got a whole list.
We'll go through them later. I saw the seed and it seemed like it was turned to gold, like that dude in that mythos,
Midas.
that one.
Yeah. Touched and turned to gold.
Yeah.
Like the muffler shop?
What?
A name recently. Where did I hear?
Midas?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't fucking remember. I
Well-
think she's turning the seed over in her fingers. Question for the voice in the sky.
Yes.
Would we consider this cult an important city figure?
I would say that they would be an important city figure, but they haven't. You're not sure how established they are, or like how like widespread their roots is like Hail Hydra kind of thing goes. You know that they're present, but they haven't. They've only made themselves known the one time.
Okay. Because I have a move that I would like to use
Okay.
in this moment if I could.
Yeah, sure.
It's called the Gossip Mags.
Ooh.
So when you tap into the gossip and rumor of the celebrity industry for information on an important city figure, I roll superior, and if I hit, I get to ask 3 to 1 to 0 questions.
So, because the cult is not a singular person, you wouldn't have the ability to like, oh, what about this like one important person in the city? Like if it was like the mayor or Good Boy or like some like singular entity, I think that would end up working. But I don't think that it would work for a shadow organization.
Okay, so that wouldn't work in this scenario. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well then what I want to do instead is I think she's gonna like pull out her phone and is gonna be like, I'm just gonna quick call. I'll be right back. But she still has like the half a seed in her hand that she's like kind of fiddling with. She's just gonna ring up Dimitri.
Okay. Yeah, Dimitri is always ready and always available.
Hi, Dimitri. Look, I've been a little busy lately.
And you didn't tell me about this? What are you like booking side gigs? Are you running around on me?
You know I could never. But listen, I think I got something big for us.
Oh, something big. Okay, what is it? Like a music festival? Like are they gonna do like a meet and greet style thing?
Dimitri, you're not thinking big picture enough. Listen, I found them. I found all the ones from the what is it?
Oh shit.
From the myth. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The-
MIF.
I found the heroes from the myth. And well, I think they're on board for doing a little group thing.
All right, if they're on board for doing a little group thing, I can get the paperwork drawn up. Now, it is very important. We gotta remember this. We need at least 60% of the licensing. That really screwed us on the last time, but if we can get them to sign away their likenesses at any point in time, we can make some serious money off of this thing.
Just put it in the
Oh, yeah.
text
Yeah,
somewhere.
of course, and not going to put it, like, blatantly out there. But
okay.
it's besides the point. You found these guys. And they seem willing to communicate, talk. They can talk. They're not just, like, making bird calls at each other. I know, like, that one guy, like, that trash bird, like, he was, like, making calls to birds and stuff.
They're normal. They're people. They're normal-ish people.
And normal people, I don't know about that, Aurora. They got superpowers.
Well, most of them do these days.
Look, all I'm saying is a creature made out of flame shot out of a man. He exploded and a creature happened. I passed out. If you can find people.
Right, and I also have to find out more info about those guys.
All right. Look, are you asking me to do some research for you about like guys who can erupt into flames?
I just
It doesn't seem like a commonplace thing these days.
Put some feelers out there. See if they're popping up somewhere
All right.
else. I don't know. We need something to go off of because listen, this is bigger than doing charity events and car washes and everything else.
Quinceañeras.
This is something. We're on the cusp of something great here.
All right. You know, I still got my buddies in the agencies. You know, like I'll talk to them, talk around, see if they've known anybody who has like, you know, powers like that, or they've encountered other individuals like that maybe, or like, is that it that I'm looking for? Like, do you got anything? Like, I mean, a guy exploding into a fire monster, like that seems pretty self-explanatory. Is like, hey, do you got anybody who can do that thing? Because I'm pretty sure they can only pull that trick once. But if they had like, do they got any like signifiers, like a big S on their chest that they wear for like, ooh, spooky, scary, or like?
Well, I mean, they have like gold pomegranate seeds that they keep on them, I guess. This is new info to me.
That's fucking weird. All right, look, I'll ask around, see if anybody's like dealing, dabbling in golden pomegranate seeds. If anybody's like doing tricks where they burst into fire and turn into like a monster man or something.
Oh, and listen. So, in regards to some promotional material,
Okay.
you may need to make a few edits. The folks I'm working with now, they're well, different than industry standard, I guess. They're very big into privacy and anonymity. So let's get just like a little teaser or something. Nothing too big, nothing too much. Kind of, ooh, something's in the works, right? You know?
All right. Now, I got a question for you, Aurora. You want me to throw together this teaser trailer? I can do that for you. I got a guy who does like that movie voiceover voice thing. He almost does it like perfectly. Like he's still got some work on it. His voice cracks every once in a while, but like almost perfectly. Now, I understand that like for the charity event if that we're hosting for that school, it's your school, right? You know, if you want. Every good movie needs a trailer to start things off. We could run it. It's going to be like a long movie. It's going to be like old or some shit. I don't know. It's for the kids. But if we put on the trailer for your new team and then Big Bang Boom movie, people won't even remember what they're here for. They'll know everything. Off the bat, get it 100%.
You know, I like the way you think. Sounds great.
Don't worry, doll. It'll be done. Now you just sit back. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk to the movie voice guy. I'm going to talk to the other people. See if there's anybody who bursts into flames. There probably shouldn't be because that sounds really dangerous. And if I saw it again, I promise you I will do my best to not pass out. But again, I'm pretty sure he's dead now. But we're going to try and look out for it. You want anything for dinner? I'm going to be coming over later anyways.
I mean, I have some pizza, but it's just cheese. And I
just
really
cheese.
only got one box. I don't...
Pick you up like a Jamba Juice or something.
Okay, thanks.
Jamba!
Is that what he says and hangs up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Aurora will step back in from wherever she kind of hit off to have this convo and be like, putting some feelers out.
Hold on. What happened whilst she was in there?
So you are off like in like kitchen area, your room, wherever has you, having this phone call back with the other three. Are you still are you just letting the video play over and over that you're watching it? Are you changing the channel at all? You know, it's Friday night. Good Boy is going to be on soon on your local news station.
Did she walk away with the remote? That's the big
No,
thing.
she went off with her.
Oh,
with-
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Luciana probably changed it to the news just to see Good Boy.
All right.
She doesn't want to see the video again.
Yeah, for sure. So, Good Boy is playing on the local news station. They're showing all of his latest daring do's. And it seems like, it's a lot of him like flying around and putting out fires. And it's like the way that he puts out fires is that he wags his little tail, his little rumpus as quick as he possibly can. And the wind from it is what actually puts out the fires. And Aurora, as you were coming back after this, the news station actually would like to apologize to all of its viewers. It seems like they tried to do some social marketing with Boy Watch, but apparently hashtag Boy Watch got flagged immediately on Twitter, and they were not able to call their segment that. It seems like that is given their station a bad rep that they were not looking for. They have a lot of hashtag Boy Watch merch that they need to get rid of now. So instead, they are going to be calling the segment Good Boy Today.
The whole time the segment has been going, Crow has just been absolutely grilling Cody on like every aspect of his god that he can tell Crow about, his own powers, like anything that you can think of that may be like helpful.
I don't see why. I mean, to Cody, the cat's out of the bag, so he just like tells you. Oh, and he gave you the seed right back because he looked at it and was like, "Uh huh." And yeah, so he'll just blah tell you everything he can or that he knows.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Cody, after you give the rundown about everything that you know, Aurora, that's around the time that you end up coming back, and you also end up hearing the tail end of the other three's conversation, and then you see on the news segment that they cannot call that segment Boy Watch anymore.
That didn't even cross my mind,
You
but
think?
I see it now.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty fucking hilarious when I first heard it. You think they'd actually put it through a few people, right?
God, I want one of those t-shirts. Just to say you have it.
I'm sure we can get them cheap.
Oh,
Right?
Sorry.
On the merch idea.
Hashtag Boy Watch.
yeah, I was just speaking to my agent, and he's gonna try and see if he can put some feelers out for whatever this cult is, and taking care of some other stuff on the back end for us, and
Right.
yeah.
Another point that I wanted to bring up tonight, there are other people with powers gathering to make teams, by the way.
Yeah, I've been being recruited by another group. They seem to be gathering rookies who aren't familiar with their powers, and trying to train them. We don't really know to what end yet. It all seems pretty on the level, but it's really given
It's
me
pretty sus.
bad vibes. I don't know.
Like, in what way?
Just the way I was reached out to and kind of backed into a corner to expose my power and identity.
Yeah, that would really suck. Looks to Aurora.
She'll just shrug and smile.
And I don't know. the leader of the group worries me. He seems chill on the outside, but that worries me more. He's a white dude with dreads.
Oh, gross.
He's got that whole like, you just got a vibe, bro. Like thing going, but I don't. They haven't said anything about what they're doing, and that worries me. You'd think they'd be upfront with it.
And the other lady seems like she's like one bad day away from being like, I don't know, destroying half the city would be good for like, I don't know, the rest of the world. For whatever
You
the
know-
fuck.
You know what that reminds me of? You know, like those shady, like modeling companies that are like always posted up in the malls, and they're like, oh, just sign up with us and we're going to get your little girl a modeling contract.
No.
Even Cody's shaking his head like, what?
Okay, well,
But continue.
anyways, predatory business practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preying on
Yeah.
people who want to get a head start into the business and maybe don't know how. And then
Yeah.
It also seems that she can sense powers.
Okay.
Just that people have powers,
Wait,
not what they are. Cody?
Well, I think that's the lady who, right after the park, like, she took a selfie with me. And
No, that was Orb Weaver. I followed her. She's pretty cool.
okay.
This person goes by Guardian.
Hmm.
And Lorraine in real life.
Hmm.
I'm telling you all because I think you should be careful. And
Wait.
Crow gives a like short description of her.
can I roll for her?
Yes, you can.
Or just gonna be like, uh-huh. And it's just gonna be like texting to me at the same time, like while looking at Cody. While I roll this ding dang move. Okay.
While you roll, I thought you were gonna say, "Can I do a roll as Lorraine?" I'm like, "Oh god damn it! I got fucked over again."
It's
Doppelganger.
me!
It was the lipstick. We knew it.
God, it's the lipstick betrayal. Let's see, 9 plus 2 is 11.
Yeah.
So I get 3 questions. So they could be, what are they up to? What or who do they most care about? What allies do they have? Enemies? When and where can I find them? And how can I make them vulnerable to me? Oh, geez. Okay. If anyone has any suggestions about which ones I should ask, we can make this a group effort thing.
The vulnerable one would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, maybe we can end
Pro-
on that one.
Already vaguely knows like where to find her. So I don't feel like we really need that info.
mhm.
And
You
I guess
have
we
a
kind
general
of know
idea, but if you
allies.
want to pinpoint it, you could use this one.
Maybe the first thing we should start with is just what are they up to?
Yeah, what are they up to?
So let's start with that one and go from there.
Okay, so for what are they up to? And this is just for like the mundane side of things, right?
Mm.
Like for the answer to the question, correct? Because if you're asking about like like a person in the city and you're asking about
Yeah,
like,
I guess that would be more mundane. So
It just says when you tap into the gossip and rumor of the celebrity
Okay.
industry for information on an important city figure.
Gotcha. So from what you know is that Lorraine she works at it's not a fertilizer specific company. That's just kind of what they're known for. It's almost like a Monsanto thing. Like, like Monsanto like makes the fertilizer, but like they make Roundup and all of those other kinds of brands. Like she is on the board of directors at like one of those megacorps in your local city in Everett Heights.
That smells like fertilizer right there. Okay. Let's see. I know we also want to ask him how we can make her vulnerable to us, but I want to ask something else before that.
Okay.
I feel like that's a good capstone one. Do we want to do what or who do they care most about, or do we want to do like when and where we can find them? Because we have like general idea for the second one.
I want to know what makes them tick.
Yeah, I think
What do they care about? How can I
Yeah.
manipulate them to not become evil?
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So what or who do they care most about?
So
because we already know where she works and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
So from the gossip mill, from the rumor wheel, you end up finding that she does not have like any close family members. Like it's not like she's got a partner at home that after she's done doing like corporate things she goes
Girl
home
boss
to.
things.
Yeah, no, she's too busy being girl boss to worry about partner. So as far as things that she cares about, honestly, the thing that she cares most about from what you've read and what you've heard is profits. Is quite strictly being it would be considered profit growth, like making sure that her investments pay off one way or the other. And she wasn't always in the gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, the 3 Gs. So she did not start off like in the fertilizer industry, like working for this megacorp, but has like worked her way up, and knowing from what you've seen, like she will find herself in these companies. The companies end up like going from tanking to then showing high profit margins, and then she would sell the entire company and like sell it to a bigger company and then just move off, find the next failing company. But like the entire time working her way up through the ladder until now, like this company that she is currently at was also one of those ones that was like, we are in the Fortune 500, but we've fallen to 600. Whatever shall we do? And then she was able to step in, join onto the board of directors, and has since profits have gone up. Things are improving. Like she's good at what she does.
That's sus.
How can we make her vulnerable to us?
The easiest way that you could think of as to how to make her vulnerable to you is that, Caleb, you know that she will spend time in the park, either on her lunch breaks or after work. If you wanted to find a situation where you could get her alone or in a public place where she, whatever it is that you've seen her do, you've seen her like control some squirrels and other small creatures, but nothing else really. But if you wanted to corner her and be like, hey, we know what your shit is, the easiest way to do that would be in a public setting where there might end up being like too much collateral damage for her to hide her, because she's like you, she's a Janus, so she has to live between the mask and then the regular. So if you pit her into a situation where she has to make the choice between revealing what her mask is or like having to stay dumb, that would put her in a vulnerable situation.
Yeah, I think while Crow is like describing Lorraine and like Aurora's been busy like texting like Dimitri and like other people she knows in the industry, be like, I know about her, and we'll just kind of like rattle off.
Yeah,
You know?
and like honestly, like she probably has like a Wikipedia page on her. Like she's a high profile, like she's a high enough profile person. Like somebody's keeping tabs on her. Her LinkedIn looks crazy. It looks insane with the amount of like connections and previous job experience. Like it's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would be
her.
suspicious as fuck.
I'm actually like twice as suspicious after everything you've told me. I didn't know all that about her. And now it's even weirder to me that she's doing this.
Yeah. Rich people never do anything out of the kindness of their heart. So
is she maybe getting those peeps together to like use their superpowers to make her companies better?
it's possible.
I mean, like, who does she have on her side right now? Like, what do they got?
There's a guy named
There-
Icebreaker,
Blowhard.
Cloud Jumper.
I
Yeah.
don't know about Luciana, but as we mentioned Blowhard again and describe him, like Crow can't keep a straight face.
Yeah,
I
there's
mean-
a guy called Blowhard that can, well, blow really hard.
You guys are a bunch
mean-
of high schoolers. It's totally
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly.
Blowhard.
Look, I don't want to, you know, get like too conspiracy theory, tinfoil, but like all the things you just named sound like pretty environmental. And she's
Yeah.
working at like this, you know.
We're gonna call it McFarland's.
That would be me
Farlands.
too.
Yeah, well, don't you like talk to birds or something?
Yes, I have influence over crows, and as I learned today, birds in general, actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Grats.
She, listen, one of the reasons she's also so she's got another person on her side that's pretty, the guy with the dreads, white guy with the dreads.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, is he albino white?
No.
Like from Matrix
No, like
2?
he's like Caucasian, and then he has dreads.
Crow like looks over at you as his face lights up a little bit and was like, "Oh, if it was like that, totally pull it off." But no, this is the bad kind.
Well, because I was going to say, if he was like that, maybe he has an evil twin.
I don't think so though.
No.
Nah.
But I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to call you conspiracy theory when we are also dealing with a cult
Yeah.
of wizards,
Elementals? Roman
sorcerers,
evil gods? I don't know.
I guess technically, since they worship a god, they could either be warlocks or like clerics and like paladins.
You
like,
play
it would
D&D,
be
don't you?
sort of. I've only ever run games.
Yeah.
A sad
Sorry,
man
that's
in a
GB. That's GB, the player laughing, not Cody.
the mental image of a sad man in a bird costume being like, I usually just run it for no one. Played D&D a few times.
So, it seems like to me is that there's a lot of shit brewing right now, and I don't really know what's gonna bubble over first, but whatever it is, let's hope we're the first ones on top of it.
Right. Right. I just want to make sure you are all aware that these are life-threatening situations, right?
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we can die, and so can other people.
Yes, that's a given.
We should also, maybe this is a little weak sounding, but if it's more than we can handle, there are like full-fledged heroes, and we shouldn't hesitate to like tell them and get them involved.
No, absolutely not. We don't need them on this.
We may. I don't think the four of us could take on Lorraine's team, or it would be difficult.
Well, that's because
But if there's more, like, I think we lucked out with fighting the cult.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I could shoot that flying guy out of the sky.
listen,
Okay, fair. Maybe I was exaggerating. I was trying to make a point.
Oh,
You're
no,
just-
no, that's fair.
you're just getting your toes wet into this whole thing, I'm guessing. I mean, I've seen you around, but I think you're running the same circuits as me.
Toes wet was I was chasing after someone who litters in the park after
Right.
midnight.
Right.
Cults of magic and possible criminal organizations are not toes wet. We're full in. That's jumping in the deep end.
Yeah.
And we need to be careful about that because, well, we're young.
And this
And-
isn't like some prepped fighting sequence.
Look, I understand all that, but the last thing we're gonna do is make everyone else out there think that we're weak and we can't handle this.
It's not weak to ask for help. Have you seen some of the powers the current heroes have?
Yeah, and I also wouldn't trust most of them as far as I could throw them. So,
You got some issues you need to work out in therapy, don't you?
and you do too, but hey, I'm not armchair diagnosing anyone.
I'm just
So-
saying, let's be careful.
So, should we all go to the next meeting of this group?
They would, I think it was kind of a bad idea for them to come with me in the first place, given that they were only expecting me to show up.
Yeah,
I
they
think
didn't
it would
seem happy with
be-
a +1.
Even more suspicious if I showed up with 2 more people, especially one as high profile as you, Aurora.
Yeah, I'm also not I don't think that I'm the type of person they're looking for. So,
Why? Like Cody's like, what?
Because she
'Cause-
doesn't have
'cause
powers.
They're looking for noobs.
Whoops.
I mean, both points stand.
I mean, but you're a real hero.
Sure.
This isn't a jab. I'm just genuinely curious. Have you actually like fought criminals before that's like not been documented?
Everything's documented.
Not all
It's
things
all
stay
for-
documented.
What's that? Sorry.
I said not all things stay documented. Archives are lost all the time.
No, what I'm saying is that everything I've done is, you know, for a camera, and I don't imagine that changing anytime soon. Like, trust me, I have way too much paperwork for that. Your point being,
I'm just trying to judge our breadth of experience.
listen, I have enough. I got what it takes.
I'm not saying you don't.
Just
Okay,
trying
great.
to suss out, like, if you've actually confronted people that have been actually trying to hurt you.
I can take care of myself in a fight.
I mean, yeah. But that's still not answering the question.
I think it answers it well enough.
Okay.
And
Sure.
Cody's over there, and his right hand is like starting to glow, like, and he just kind of mumbles, "I wouldn't let that happen." Like about someone hurting any of you, really, but mainly Aurora.
Alright. Listen. This needs to work. We need to all be on the same page. And we all need to actually care about each other's well-being. And not just use the other for stardom or whatever it is you're trying to achieve with this. We're not puppets to be used to get more likes or retweets or whatever. We're real people with real situations and real feelings.
Look, I already have enough of that on my own. Clearly, I didn't need to drag, no offense, but like kind of 3 nobodies, sorry, in terms of the public, onto something with me. I know what I'm in over my head, okay? You get it? Are you happy? Like, yeah, I'm no way out of my element here, but like, I can't fucking stop, so...
Why?
Shit.
Why can't you stop?
You wouldn't
Hey.
understand.
Yeah, and Cody steps in and is like, because she's a hero at heart. I mean, powers or not, she knows how this goes. I mean, I don't know who this person is or have connections or any of that. I just sometimes show up and smash people with a shield. I don't know how to connect or figure things out, or I don't know what the hell that seed is. And you can see he's really frustrated because he feels stupid standing here like you guys got this, you know.
It's safe to say that no one here has this. We all are in way over our heads. Despite what I've said about you and the comments I've made, I'm not trying to take a jab out of you. I'm trying to understand why you're doing this.
Because I've worked too hard to give up now that the game's changed. I've spent my whole life trying to become this. And just because everyone is stronger and cooler and has powers now, doesn't mean I'm gonna throw all that out the fucking window.
All right. What is this? Why do you want to become this?
I mean, doesn't every little girl dream of becoming the hero they see on TV?
And Aurora,
All right.
as you say that, I think that's actually a really good spot for us to go to our break for the evening. Like, that's a really good, like, mid-session cut. So,
Oh yeah, go to commercial.
yeah,
obviously.
we're going to commercial. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com.
We got a follow, by the way.
We did. Thank you, Brunels24 GB. Would you like to reveal what happens when people follow while you're on the stream?
I want to get that in before we left.
So if I'm on the stream, I take this maul and I hit this guy over here in the face.
God,
Oh, that
that's
was a good one.
such a good sound. Every time,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it. All right, so again, we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10, so don't go no place, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody, see you soon. So, we just left off with Aurora dropping some knowledge about why she wants to still be a hero, but as is the nature of the game and wanting to move things along, because again, we're trying to keep the campaign as a total shorter, more concise. So we're just going to move on past that scene because I feel like that was a good point to like turn page, cut, new chapter, like we throw out a new splash screen, that sort of thing. So the only other scene that I think would be necessary in the hotel, Caleb, do you ride the elevator back down while also again still in full crow gear?
I got.
Push to talk failed you again.
Yeah, here I am, like spamming spacebar. I mean, I gotta. I have no other choice.
That's fair. So I feel like elevator rides all the way down with Cody, Luciana, and Caleb just as awkward and quiet as it was before. The doors open and Dimitri is standing there, but he has like two Jambas, one in either hand, and he was like, since he can't have his phone out with him, the door opens and it's just, oh my god, trash bird! And like you see him like drop one of the Jambas. And
Can I try to catch it?
Yeah, I'd say roll a d6. If it's 4 through 6, you catch.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay, so you manage to catch the Jamba as it is being like, oh my god, trash bird just came out of the fucking elevator. So you catch it. Do you give it back to Dimitri, or do you like, this is my Jamba now?
No, because she wouldn't do it to someone she did. Wait, I know who Dimitri is.
Yeah, you do know
I?
who Dimitri is.
I would just catch it and just take a sip. But I broke his car. I threw a rock.
Yeah, you threw a rock at his car window.
Oh.
Like you're harassing this guy at this
Bully
point.
this man.
But like he's so just like like flabbergasted about seeing like a fully costumed dude just standing there. Like even though Aurora had been like, hey, I was talking to these people, he wasn't exactly expecting like doors open and man in a bird costume to just be there. Like that's a little jarring for old Dimitri.
She like catches it and then they just not bad. And then she'll hand it back.
Yeah, I think like Dimitri's eyes are wide. He just like watches you guys leave at that point and then just like gets into the elevator and like ding.
It's Crow.
What did you say, Trash Bird?
And Cody, to be helpful, reaches in and presses the button for Aurora's floor.
Yeah. And I feel like there's one of those like, oh, thanks. Wait, how did you know I wanted to ding? And like the door shut and then you just see it beginning to go up. So your guys' Friday night meeting has been adjourned. So many of you are going to be going back home via truck, Jeep, or bike. Is there any conversation that the three of you wanted to have at the base? Because if not, we're just going to move on to the events over the weekend. So I think that, Luciana, you just get back into your truck.
I'll like drive Caleb back home or wherever.
To the gas station.
Yeah.
That's where he left his bike, so that's a good spot for him to get it back. So yeah, you managed to go there. Cody, as you are on your way out of town, off in the distance, you can see what look like gathering storm clouds, but you see, just for a brief moment, as you're driving, what looks like a lightning bolt of a pure scarlet color seems to just pierce from the heavens down, and then that is it. There's no more lightning. You can still hear some thunder. But the thunder almost sounds like, you're an old movie buff. You've seen a bunch of movies where they have like horses going over the side of like a hillside. That is what that rolling thunder sounds like, is almost like thousands of horse hooves.
All right. He's creeped out, but he's still not in a mindset where he would call these guys about it. You know, everything is still his problem, you know.
Well, it's like when the bolt hits, 1, 2, 3. It's like 15 by the time that like you hear the thunder. Like it's well away, but you were able to see just like bright red light for a brief moment. So then going back to your house, unless you guys had any other plans for the weekend, I think that we can kind of move on to the regular school days. Crow, Caleb has his day job that he has to go to. in the city. Just Another Cup was the name of your coffee shop. So is there anything that you wanted to do during the weekend,
Or-
during your shift?
Isn't it one more cup?
One more cup.
Yeah. Caleb wants to go to the library like a cool kid.
Okay. So yeah, you doing your coolest, you go to the library.
And he's gonna like spend the day cross-referencing books and like searching online and trying to find out whatever he can about these two deities
Okay.
and their followers, anything he can find, really.
So as you're going and like using the old Google search, using all of the tools at your disposal, it's rightfully really annoying. Every time you look up any Roman deity, it always like says like, "Oh, did you mean Hephaestus instead of Vulcan?" Like it always tries to autocorrect you to the Greek instead of Roman. It's absolute frustration. But you managed to find out that Securitas is the god of security, of protection. As far as followers, there has not been any like notable like churches to Securitas or anything that really like made it out of like ancient Rome. Like you think that like that was one of the like last major bits. So hearing or knowing that Cody has been like contacted by this deity is very strange. One, that means that the Roman gods are real, which is very strange as a whole. And two, again, like there's like some weird ancient feud that seems to be happening between the two. Vulcan, you find out, is not just the god of the forge, but it's almost like if there was a god of fire being nice, Vulcan is the god of fire being angry, like volcanoes, wildfires, that sort of thing. It seems like like even though Vulcan, like Hephaestus, was the god of the forge, that it seems like a lot of Vulcan's creations weren't necessarily utility, as they more were like designed for war, that sort of thing. And you know that as far as Vulcan is concerned, they had a pretty good relationship with some of the Roman pantheon, but not all of them. So like Jupiter liked Vulcan just fine. The Roman equivalent of Hera did not like Vulcan just fine. It seems like that still tracks as far as the creation of Vulcan. But it seems like, again, all things considered, like Vulcan is more like associated with like volcanoes and that sort of like eruptive fire, versus Hephaestus, who again was more of like a god of tinkering and stuff like that. All things considered, you find out a decent bit of information on them. But as far as like a website saying like, "Oh, join the cult of Vulcan today," like you can't really find anything that seems to be like screaming at you about that. So you could either take some more time to research that, or you could try and I would say that there's probably like the equivalent of like a Little Italy in Everett Heights. Like you might try like poking around there, seeing if anybody has heard anything about these Roman gods. You know that like Rome was in Italy, so if you're gonna find anything like one-for-one correlation, you might find it in Little Italy.
Yeah, I think Caleb would certainly be willing to hit the streets on like the next day. I have some pointed questions that developed as you were describing things to me. Topographically, what's the area we're in? Kind of like, I know we've got the river. Are we mostly like flatlands? Are there any mountains around us?
I was gonna say we're a heights. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as lazy as it is, hey, Reeves, think about the city that you and I hail from, relabel that Everett Heights and make it like a little bit bigger. So, like, one side of the
Okay.
river has like kind of like a mountainside, and the other is like a little hilly, but always like gently hilly.
So Mount Ceiling.
Yes.
Um, sorry, Mount Cowell.
Yes.
There we
Not
go.
Mount
That's-
Powell.
Well, I was thinking alternate word for hood,
Oh, yes.
cowl, or roof.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, are there any like automotive shops out around the mountain?
Yeah.
Is there like development over there?
Development over like an automotive shop?
Development like is the area around the mountain mostly like nature parks, or is there like a couple small towns spattered here and there, like
It's a
you
couple.
might expect
It's
for
a couple
Oregon?
small towns spattered here and there. Around Everett Heights, I would say that like the city itself stretches really wide. And there are like a few suburbs that have popped up around it, but most of those would have like an Everett Heights zip code anyways. Like you'd be like, oh, I'm from this area in Everett Heights. Like you still sign the same place regardless of where
Yeah.
you go. So I think if you were looking for like across the like, because there's the river that runs right through the center of the city, there's the downtown area that's right next to it, and then it kind of goes steep into more of like not like a mountain, but like a pretty like sizable hill that you call a mountain, but it's more of like, oh, it's a Mount Scott Nature Park. Like it's just like slightly taller, but not like snow cap, timberlines, that sort of thing.
No, Saint
There's no
Helen.
there's no like massive mountain that used to be a caldera that's just waiting for a supervillain to hang out in. There's none of those things. Just
Nothing
like,
incredibly convenient.
no, nothing incredibly convenient that says bad guys be here with like a glowing neon arrow.
That
Yet.
volcano hasn't
Bro.
gone off in centuries.
Hold on, I
Caleb,
need to go back to the start of this campaign and rewrite a few things.
makes notes of like a couple places he would potentially hide out if he were a cultist. It's nothing firm or that great, but it's a start. And is there any connection of gold beyond it being a like smithing metal?
No, there doesn't seem to be. Hooray. Oh, there it goes. Video's fixed. We did it. I said no, there does not seem to be.
If Caleb were to just search Midas, how likely is it that I would see the company
You do see
/ service?
it actually is like they have a paid ad at that point. Like, how companies can pay so that way, like when you Google something, it's the first one that shows up.
Yep.
It's like, oh, sponsored ad. Like that's easily the first thing that you see.
Great. I think that Caleb is smart enough to squint at that and click into the website. I have to anyway because I need to submit my timesheets.
Yeah. You have to log in anyways.
Yeah, so I do think it's the Google search that like makes it click for him though. Like looking up, trying to look for the story and seeing the paid ad, and he's like, "Wait, what? No. Who owns this company? Can I find a like employee list?"
You wouldn't be able to find an employee list off of a basic Google search because that seems like that would be a real breach of security
Yeah,
between
but
the
sometimes-
employee and the employers.
Not employee stuff, but you do often find like, oh, this is the CEO of our company.
Oh, okay.
And like what he represents, and like this is our chief financial officer and their values, and like companies like to promote that shit, but not like.
So the Midas website does not have that. built into it directly. But you see that the website is one of the, it says powered by Sedesco. And clicking on Sedesco, you see that it is a tech company. And kind of like looking through that website, it seems much more of that like corporate, like, oh, like these are the people that are on the team, that sort of thing. The company head is Donovan Sedesco, and he seems to be like the head engineer, kind of like the main guy whose vision it was to have this Midas app. It seems like the little like brief history that he has is that he was actually a young kid who grew up in the early Everett Heights years ago, went off to corporate business school across the great United States, and then came back with all of his knowledge and know-how from the other side of the country, and made this and has been doing like this tech grant stuff ever since. And it, for Caleb, I think that it kind of follows along, like it tracks pretty well. But it's also like, have you ever looked at a tech company's about us, like who we are? Like it all just seems very forward facing, like there's not a whole lot of substance to it.
Yeah. I think Caleb makes a like 5-minute burner email, and just like shoots Aurora an email at their school email address.
Okay.
No.
It's the only
Yeah.
email address that you would have.
It's the only one I would know. That just says like, can you figure out who or what company Guardian is working for our next meeting?
Don't I already know
Yes.
that info?
McFarlane.
Yep.
Oh, for McFarlane. Okay. Here I am, like, thinking I don't have this information yet. And, like, I could
You
bark up this
do.
tree. Damn it. Okay. But their headquarters is here.
Yes.
Cool. Caleb notes the address down in his notebook. And that's all I have for the study session.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, I think that you don't see Lorraine over the weekend. She isn't working long hours, that sort of thing. And then going into the next week, next Monday, there's not a whole lot that is like, nothing really is like outstanding happening out in out in the myth. There's nothing really going on. It seems like there's actually like a heavier cop presence now that like there's gonna be a fundraiser. There's people who've already lit this place on fire. Trash Man is still active, but it seems like he is like a low profile supervillain for the cops to deal with. So, yeah, unless there is there anything that you guys would want to do on that day on Monday? Because if not, we just keep moving on.
I think Luciana would just kind of like keep up to see what Fabricio can do about the voice changer.
Yeah.
Kind of start to like seeing where would be best to kind of like get a new jacket that has like extra padding certain places. Start maybe sewing stuff together into her existing jackets, see what works better for them and where they would need it the most. So it's just to mention that kind of happens.
Yeah. I would say like, you probably are like, all right, Fabrizio, I need a voice modulator. I need this costume to be this. I need these things. And, like, you see, like, he's like, okay. And, like, was okay with, like, helping out with the voice modulator. Like, probably has, like, goggles on that, like, he, like, brings down so that way he can start doing some soldering, like, figuring out this voice modulator, like, getting the actual electrical, like, components to work. And then you start talking about, like, I need sewing, I need this. And his response is the equivalent of, well, you have 2 hands. Like, I'm not going to do everything for you. I can do this part because I know you don't know how to do any of the electrical wiring, and I don't want this to explode on your face.
Yeah.
Like, explode at the throat of voice box. Like,
Yeah.
bad time. So I will do this part. But if it's just sewing, like,
Yeah,
you know
no,
where the tools are.
they would do it themselves. I think they would mostly like go to them to like, okay, what's a really good like fabric to use? Obviously, we can't use like Kevlar or some shit because that's not available to her. But like, if you have any recommendations, Fabrizio, I would love to hear them.
Yeah, he
You don't have
would
to
want to
give me
use
specific-
Kevlar, but I think that he doesn't have access to it, so his response mostly is going to be go to a junkyard, and if you can find newer cars, the like middle components that they have that like really tight nylon mesh that goes there that you could like take off of the hard plastic and then put over not necessarily like pieces of metal, but you could put like reinforced polymers underneath.
Okay. Yeah. She will pay him with her government money.
Oh yeah.
Because of course. And then she'll probably spend time and money at the junkyard and kind of spend her they'll spend their weekend just kind of doing that.
Oh yeah. Just kind of like searching around, trying to find something. So yeah, you are more than able to do that. You can get your hero costume up, no problem. So then Monday rolls around again. Caleb, you did not send Aurora an email from a burner email address, correct? You kept your
I did.
information- Oh, you did. Okay, what was
I did send the email.
Okay, and the email was the like, oh, do you know who they're working for, that sort of thing?
Oh, yeah, I guess because we determined we knew this information,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
so
have
it
sent
just-
the email. Great, okay, yeah.
Just
we're good.
wanted to establish if that email was sent or not. Yeah, so then going into Monday, the day rolls by almost pretty much uneventfully. Nothing happens outside of the ordinary until Crow. You are, Caleb, you are back at home. And your mom actually tells you that your older brother is going to be coming home this weekend. It seems like he's
extremely pog.
Yeah, he is just like, he's taking a break from college. Like he just got done with some midterms. He just needs to come home. Like he's going to be taking a break. So like, make sure, you know, like she knows that you are always excited when your bro comes home. So like, thumbs up.
As I am receiving the information. Excited as always.
Hell yeah. So Tuesday also rolls by uneventfully. Wednesday, you know, is going to be the fundraiser. So I think they would have told you this on Tuesday. For the purpose of the AV Club, Aurora, you have already been booked. You are going to be there. Cody, they're showing Seven Samurai unedited. It's in its full like 3.5 to 4 hour glory. Like, perfect. What better place? And it's like, you know, it's getting to that like kind of balmy part of mid-spring where like you can be out late and it only drops to like 65. Like it's perfect weather for it. Luciana, Mr. Caldwell actually is going comes up to you and asks like, oh, can I speak to you after class? And he says that you have actually that he has volunteered you to work at the ticket booth for the movie. So I hope you don't have any plans for tomorrow evening, but you are going to be required. Don't worry, he's going to be giving you some extra credit for it, but
Is that legal?
the AV club was a little shorthanded. And so he says it was all above the board. I drew names out of a hat, but I am going to need your assistance. Look, I don't want to be there either. That's 4 hours out of my night that I could literally be doing anything else.
I mean, we're on the same boat here, Mr. Caldwell. Are you going to be working the ticket booth too?
No. I'm going to be chaperoning. My job is to legitimately going to be stand around and make sure that underage kids are respecting a fair distance between themselves. It's a public setting. Do you understand how painful it is to go up to like 16, 17-year-olds and be like, hey, not right now. And then, as soon as you turn your back, they're just going to be doing it again.
Can I make a suggestion?
I've already asked if we can have the lights on. They said no, because it's outside.
Air horn.
It is a movie. I am not going to disrupt people's viewing experience because two teens decide to get frisky on the lawn.
Well, then just get a flashlight and just flash a light on them, making them all embarrassed and stuff.
Now that is not a half bad idea. You still have to work the ticket booth, though.
God damn it. Fine.
All right, so then
I was gonna say, I feel like Crow or Caleb would also actually volunteer to, like, he brings up to Mr. Caldwell, like, if you want, I could like bring a chessboard and it's like something to do.
And Mr. Caldwell says, sadly, I have to still be ever vigilant and watch over children of the future. But if you also want to work at the ticket booth and provide some assistance for your home roommate, maybe you can teach Luciana how to play some chess and we can get some diversity in the chess club.
I will I'll do the first part, but second part sounds a little weird when you put it that way.
I didn't think about it until I opened my mouth, but you know what? You're right. Let's just forget it. Do you like coffee? You work at the coffee shop, right?
Yeah.
All right. Mine's still coursing through me. And it's like almost time to leave for the day, and his excuse every time you ask him is like, oh, coffee's still working through.
That's always my excuse as a real human Reeves.
Yeah,
so I feel it. It's like 2 p.m. Oh, sorry, I still haven't had my afternoon coffee yet. Were you just sipping coffee? Yeah, that
one got cold.
That was my noon coffee. I still need my afternoon coffee.
Yeah, so that would be it for Tuesday, unless, again, anybody had anything that they would like to cover.
At some point, Cody would have probably, during home ec, told Aurora about the red lightning.
That's freaky. What?
I was driving home, and just, I don't know. And he like rolls his eyes because he thinks it's uncool, but he's like, and so I counted after I saw it, and it was like, 15 counts away. So, 15, 20 miles away, but it still was weird because there was like afterwards, the rolling thunder was like hooves, like, I don't know, like an Ingrid Bergman film.
Like a what?
An old movie. And he seems embarrassed.
Oh, okay. So, weird lightning, weird thunder. You can just see on Aurora's face that she's not like making any sort of connection and thinks you're just like trying to chat with her. It's like, okay.
And then Cody's feeling stupid for bringing it up. Like he said before, when he first saw it, it was his problem. And so now he's just like, I don't know. I thought it might be something.
No, that's cool, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you don't see that every day.
No. Are we doing cream cheese frosting on these cupcakes? Is that the... And he tries to totally change the subject.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
He said his bit.
Sounds good. So Wednesday rolls around. You all know that there is going to be this after-school extracurricular event that is going to be happening in the Midgrove Industrial Forest. The movie is very long, so they have to start it at like 6:30 or 7, just because, again, it's the middle of the week. They got to make sure that the kids who showed up are actually going to be getting home at a reasonable hour and are still going to be functioning tomorrow, even though it's a late start. So knowing that, Wednesday, I believe, is also chess day for Caleb. So you were already like sticking around after school anyways, then you and Mr. Caldwell would end up going together.
Yeah. I don't think I would have brought it up until chess club, so that's probably when we had our conversation. I was like, oh yeah, I'm like not really doing anything tonight. I guess I can help out. Like I was planning on going to the film anyway.
And then so then we'll cut to sun is still in the sky because it's like mid-spring at 7 o'clock. It doesn't get dark out until it'd be too late to start a 3.5-hour movie anyways. So Luciana, do you show up or do you just like straight up skip responsibility on that one?
She'll show up because out of all the teachers, like Mr. Collar's like the coolest one. She's like, I guess I have nothing better to do anyway.
All right, so
and that extra credit would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's extra credit for watching a movie. Like, that's a high schooler's dream. All you got to do is just sit there and rack up points. What a great day.
Yeah.
So I feel like at the movie, like people are filing in. Luciana, you and Caleb are both there as the ticket takers. Like, there are quite a few people that are actually arriving at this event. One of the individuals who seems to have purchased a ticket is none other than Lorraine herself. And she is, just wants to help support the local forest, make sure that, it still looks good. And like, she doesn't really talk to you a whole lot. She understands that this is not the proper setting to be able to start shit. And that's like the only notable person. Like, you don't see any of these other like would-be trainee heroes from that group. It seems like she's just kind of interested in a Kurosawa flick. Who wouldn't be? It's a great movie. And as everyone brings in, start time rolls up. Aurora, you have been hired to kind of like give a mild performance at the beginning of this show for everybody. Before the trailer rolls, do you have anything to say to the general populace that has come here? You're looking at maybe about probably like 150 to 200 people have all kind of like showed up to help support the local forest.
Yeah, I think when she like gets on the like stage, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a stage area. Like there's like a gentle decline to just like a large like just kind of like a projector screen. Like it's not like being projected onto anything, but it's one of those large screens that they have like tied up between two trees, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I think the first thing she does naturally is because the people eat that shit up, she's got to do the transformation. Like,
Oh yeah.
she's got to do it like right on stage and do the whole shebang and like do the cute little pose at the end. Yeah, and she'll be like, "Thank you guys so much for coming out today. Not only to watch this movie, but in support of a great cause to help raise funds for the fire that destroyed part of our beautiful myth. There's you see her kind of like pause for a second, and kind of like look down. And she looks back up and says, "What happened here at the myth was no accident. It was no rowdy teens playing with matches. Nothing that Everett Heights has ever been used to before. What's out here and what did this is a far greater danger. As a guardian of justice, it is my job to make sure I can do what I can to keep the people here safe. But I can't do it alone. I need other heroes by my side to help me. And in that moment where I thought I was alone, well, they came for me. It is my honor to introduce to you some of the bravest new heroes that Everett Heights has ever seen. And I can't wait for you to see what comes next."
And the projector screen, like as you say that, the lights dim a little bit. The projector screen is showing black, and then as it has that black, you hear, "In a world surrounded." Like, what is it? Like, "In the darkest reaches of the world, there is one light that shines through. Aurora." And like, it's like your face superimposed, but then like it cuts to you like fighting off like some of these flaming cultists. And it says, "The powers of darkness have decided that they are going to try and outshine the star of this show, which is why she needed help." And then you see like lightning flash, like Cody's shield just like batting one of these cultists out of the way. Quick cut again, you see Crow like jumping up, smashing somebody in the head with a bucket. And like there are a few chuckles seeing this happen. Like that's not the superhero antics that they were expecting at all. And how do you, because there was no like good shot of Luciana as an Aftershock doing this, Aurora, how would Luciana be pitched in your smash cut trailer revealing your new team?
Maybe there wouldn't even be like footage of Luciana necessarily, just kind of like just like cutting to like the actual like effects of her powers, like they're like earthling grasp and like whatever, maybe like some sort of like shadowy back shot of like
it's like a Sasquatch like look around kind of thing. So like this trailer like continues showing all of these super heroics, and you hear like there are cheers that are happening. Like some of your fans, knowing that you were going to be at this event, have come, and even though like old Japanese cinema isn't exactly something that they were feeling it this evening, they still came out for you. And like you hear a few people, Cody, I feel like you would hear like a few people being like, man, these effects suck. What is she even trying? It's a quick, like, you just shoot them, like, this death glare, like, you shut your goddamn mouth. And I'm just like,
You shut your whore mouth.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Like, you immediately, like, quell any kind of that. Luciana, watching this, like, there is sweat. You did not, like, you and Caleb both, I feel, are just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why is there a trailer? Why am I on screen? Why that moment? There were so many bad. I jumped off the shield and they go with the bucket. What the hell? Like, and I feel like this trailer ends up going to just like basically like Aurora's new hero team coming soon. And it had like it feels very much like product placement brand kind of thing. Like Dimitri wanted to give you all names, but he didn't know where or what names to give you. So he just left those out. And the trailer, like it could definitely use some work. Feels like it was thrown together kind of last minute, but like it still lands. It's still good. Still quality. It gets the job done. And that's why you have Dimitri. He gets the job done.
So it was pretty much like the Justice League.
Yes.
Teaser trailer.
This was the Dimitri cut of the Justice League trailer.
Okay.
Like we had the
in
Aurora.
a society.
Oh god damn it. We had the Aurora cut, and that was the ones that you guys got to see, and then the one that they showed on initial launch was the Dimitri cut. So the Dimitri cut is shown. There's positive response. Caleb and Luciana, I feel like the two of you like share some quick glances from side to side. And as you're watching this, and like Mr. Caldwell, like as this trailer's going, just like his eyes sort of like squint a little bit more. Like he's just like watching it, but he has no emotional conveyance whatsoever upon seeing this. Just one of those like, kids are fucking weird. Like that's like it. Like he's like, whatever, that's fine. But yeah, I would say that Caleb, you and Luciana also notice that like Caleb, as your scene goes, Lorraine sort of like looks back over her shoulder at you and just kind of like gives a little bit of a smile and then goes back to watching the trailer as it unfolds.
As soon as she looks away, Caleb's like, ah, shit, she made eye contact with me. Shh.
Okay. And yeah.
So I want Cody showed up early, obviously, because one, Aurora, two, Seven Samurai, and so he got to the ticket booth, and Luciana and Caleb are there, and he like gets his ticket, and he's like, "Hey, Calvin, nice dodgeball move. That was cool. We need to like pair up more when in gym."
Oh, yeah, it was a good game. It's Caleb.
Oh, sorry, man.
No problem.
Caleb, gotcha. I'll put it in the old brain box. Gotta get a good seat.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Enjoy the
bye.
film.
He waves at you like, okay. because he doesn't want to like be like, oh yeah, we're pals, because or we know each other at all.
Mild mannered and what have.
Yeah, exactly. And he sits like center front, like 4 rows back, and like kind of tries to keep his space to himself so he can enjoy the film like all stretched out and across chairs and whatnot.
Yeah. And like you brought a nice blanket to lay on. Like you've been to your fair share of like showings in the myth. Like like you've got this. This is not your first rodeo by any means. So the movie begins, and it starts off with a lonely samurai walking down a long and lonesome road, and it's long. It doesn't start very quickly. There are definitely like some belly aches coming from people. Like Caldwell's already just like, hey, and like you see him like flashlight spotting people, like using Luciana's, and like after he catches the first one, he looks over at you, Luciana, just like thumbs up. Like there's like some solidarity between the two. And the movie plays. And as it does, the kind of like starless night out that you had previously, there is like rolling clouds that seem to generally be going over the top of the city. Until eventually it is around a point where, in the context of the movie, there is while the samurai are still being rounded up, because the premise of the film is about like, oh, bandits have come, we need to hire samurai in order to do this, we don't have enough money, we need to find samurai who fight for honor instead of cash. And it is at the scene in the movie where there is a hostage situation, and one of the samurai ends up shaving their head to pretend to be a Buddhist monk in order to like lower this guy's guard down enough that he can like rescue this person. And as that scene is unfolding, you all hear what sounds like rolling thunder, even though you have not seen any of its source. And Cody, this is the same thunder that you remember hearing. This thunder sounds like hundreds of thousands of horses that all seem to be just rushing across a hillside or some other surface all at once. And at that, like, Mr. Caldwell sort of like squints and like looks up and like cleans his ear a little bit. Like, did I hear that right? That sounds awfully strange. And you see that on the projector, in old movies, there would be burn spots where parts of it would start melting away from the heat of the reel being on the machine. As the projector screen begins to burn away, and behind this projector screen, you see what looks to be 6 of these red-robed individuals. And as they begin making their way through this almost archway that has been formed by the burning of this screen, which Caldwell now, like, there is an emotional response being conveyed from him. That was school property. That wasn't the city's. Like, what the shit? And like some people are like not really sure. You hear other people saying like, is this part of the act? Is this still Aurora's thing? Like, they don't know what's going on. You all hear a voice that says, Everett Heights, if you do not surrender the vessel, all will burn. And as that phrase is finished, a bolt of red lightning shoots down from the sky and lands in front of where these 6 red-robed individuals are. And where the lightning strikes, it is a blinding flash for a brief moment. But from where that lightning dissipates, wearing what looks like rounded golden armor, but built off of a person, not armor to wear for personal protection, but almost mechanized armor. You see an individual standing there with very clearly the symbol of a forge built into the front part of their chest. And as they do, people begin to shout. People begin to scream. A dude just appeared from a lightning bolt and is demanding the vessel, or else all will burn. What do you all do?
Would it be out of the, I think because the first time it happened randomly, I think Luciana would kind of carry around a bag now with her stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So as soon as like she sees the cultist, I feel like she would have snuck out to get her helmet and jacket on.
You and Kate, we do the same thing. We
Yeah.
literally like
Look at each other and
like,
then just go separate ways.
bust open the door
Yeah.
with our separate backpacks and run it opposite
And
directions.
I'd like to think they make it back just as this thing is just strikes down, and as people start screaming, I feel like Luciana's reaction would be trying to put a wall between these cultists and the people to kind of give people a little bit of time to get away. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like a wall of earth just erupting.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like there's definitely like this thing, wall of earth arrives. Are you completely blocking off these ne'er-do-wells who have appeared on the scene from the rest of everyone else?
Yeah, like I feel like they would come in like in the middle of the crowd and put up the wall, and through the voice changer you just hear everyone get to safety.
And
Is there-
yeah,
Oh, wait,
Aurora.
sorry. Oh, I was gonna say, is there something I could do like before that, just like real quick to like
Oh yeah, I feel
set that up?
I feel like as soon as like the screen starts burning, red robes appear, Mr. Caldwell is near you and just, is this part of the show?
She'll just kind of smile and be like, no, but I guess I'll get this under control.
All right,
Um,
everybody, let's go. Like he's just immediately like going into the point of directing people away, especially as
Yeah.
like Stonewall appears. But
So I think Aurora's gonna like, because I think since they're working in the ticket booth, the only person she would be able to like make eye contact with is Cody, and we'll probably just mouth something along the lines of like, do what you need to do, I'll stall them. And is gonna go and start fucking showboating.
oh yeah.
And so, like, you know, the wand is out. It's like turned on. It's pointed at him. It's shining the beautiful, bright, white, sparkling, radiant light. And she'll be like, well, cultists, I didn't expect to see you again. I thought the lightning didn't strike in the same place twice. So desperate to get your butts kicked again.
And I feel
So-
like the like metal clad one yells something like, "This one bears the want of Mercury. Strike her down." And like as they do, like you see now, like this is a mechanical contraption. There is a person underneath all of this armor. There are like pipes and other random things that seem to be like coming off the back that are all breathing out steam and exhaust. Like this, they have like a very bulky Iron Man suit. If you could mix like
Mark 1.
if you could mix the Mark 1 Iron Man suit with the with like the sentient armors from Hellboy and the Golden Army, if you could mix those two with a guy in the middle of it, yes, that is very much the figure that is standing before. And Aurora, as you are doing this, you see them wind up with their arm and thrust forward as their hand shoots off, connected to a chain, and just pierces through the front wall as they go to drag parts of the wall down to allow easier access for these cultists to funnel through.
Cody had thrown the blanket up over his head when the vessel was mentioned, and he was like running with the crowd, and then he slows up so the crowd gets past him, and as people run away, that's when he'll he'll prepare to change up when he needs to.
Okay. Yeah, and there are people already like making their ways away. Mr. Caldwell comes over to you, Cody, and is just like, "All right, bud, we need to go. I've seen you run. I know you can run. Just away that way. Danger bad. Please leave."
Yeah, he'll huck the blanket over him before he then turns and like boom turns the armor on to go join the team.
So Mr. Caldwell just like has a blanket on him that he then like pulls down and like looks around. He can't find Cody, but there's like a golden armored man that is now like next to Aurora. So Luciana, you have already shifted into Aftershock as well. We're gonna say that like you all were pretty like, okay, we're gonna be in a public place in this forest, and Cody is a target, so we should probably be on that. Damn
it, Cody's the only one who didn't think that.
Yeah, but your costume is I shout a power word to the sky and I change into a hero. Like,
yeah,
you're fine. So there is big golden armored man who has torn down part of the wall to allow some of the cultists through. The majority of the crowd, thankfully, because of this barrier, is able to get away. Mr. Caldwell, you see, is like unplugging cables from the back of the projector, like trying to save this last piece of school equipment that he can. He's able to do so in the time, but like just has like bulky projector on him, and he doesn't look like he'd be strong enough to carry something like this. And like you can tell that like he is weighted down, but like he knows how to hold it, and that's the important part.
Crow has been amassing the crows, and as soon as that wall comes up, he orders like a massive murder to swarm a bunch of the cultists in robes and just harass the shit out of them.
Okay. Roll to unleash your power.
Sure. Uh, 8 plus 3 is 11.
Yeah, you are more than able to do so. All of these other cultists are now distracted by a shit ton of birds that just seem to like have it out for them. Like they had heard from like the two cultists that were able to get away that there was a dude that controls birds, but like they were not expecting like this number of them. And I feel like right now, like they are in the process of like trying to use like burning hands up to like dispatch the crows from bothering them. Thankfully, your crows are smart enough, like fire bad, get out of the way, and are kind of able to like swizzle on out. Do we need to determine team points now since we're a team at this point? I would say yes. So team points. I don't have readily available in my notes. Kylan, do you want to explain?
Yeah, so there's basically like a list of questions that you ask kind of going into a battle, and the answer to those questions determine how many like team points you get, which you can use to either like help out a team member, or you could selfishly use it for yourself. So every time you go into battle, you add 2 to the team pool automatically. First one is you determine who the leader is for the battle.
I don't know. I think it's one of the regular red robe guys. No, it's definitely golden armor guy.
No, from your team.
Yeah.
From your team.
Okay, so from your team, who is leader?
Yes. Yeah, who is the leader for the battle? Like usually whoever initiates it or whatever. I don't know.
You gave the superhero
Probably
skirt.
Aurora,
Yeah. You gave the speech.
Yeah.
So if the leader has influence over every teammate, you add another team, which I do not. So we're at 2. If everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. What is everyone's purpose?
Kick ass.
Kick ass.
Stop
Yeah.
those guys.
Mhm.
Stop those guys. Yeah.
Well, 3. If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team. We're gonna say that's a yes. If your team is ill-prepared or off balance, remove a team. It seems like that most everyone came costumed
Somewhat
at the ready.
prepared, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You get 2
Two.
team.
Two team.
I didn't know this. A leader of the team can mark a condition to avoid removing a team from the pool. Oh, I think I might do that. That sounds fun.
Do it.
Just because I don't have any conditions marked yet, and I think,
All right, so angry, afraid, guilty, hopeless, or insecure. I don't think you're insecure.
maybe just like a little like hopeless, like, oh my god, lightning, fire cultists, this dude in this giant ass armor that could break me at a moment's notice. Shit.
Wouldn't that be afraid?
Oh, maybe that's afraid then.
Like, you just saw a guy appear out of lightning, and you have a wand, especially after he told the other cultists, like, they have the wand of Mercury, like, attack them. Like, seems not that great for Aurora.
Okay. So,
Real quick, team thing that I have is me sharing my story about getting stabbed earlier. Is that count as when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, give them influence, and hold 2 to spend hold to help them as if they were team in the team pool?
I don't believe that would have applied.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, I'm going to be right back. Just a second.
okay. So, I marked the condition. So we have 3 team. Let's see. So yeah, basically how it works, anyone working with the team can spend team, spend a team point to help a teammate to give them +1 to their role. You can also spend team to act selfishly. When you do that, you say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates, and you also spend the team point. Along with that, you can shift 1 label up and 1 label down.
And what does a team point do?
It's a +1 to a roll.
Okay.
basically.
Okay. So it's like a hold or a forward.
And you can do it like after someone has like already rolled. So if they roll and they got a 6, you could be like, I spend a team to help. Or you roll and you get a 6, you're like, I'm spending a team selfishly.
Okay. All right.
All right, I have returned. So, team's good. Start of all this shit, man in golden armor. About 6 cultists who are currently being harried by a murder of crows. Civilians and others are exiting this premise. So Caleb, you have gone. Cody, you have appeared next to Aurora. Who has something that they would like to do during this? Because Masks isn't a game where we roll initiative and then go around. Just say that you want to be doing something, and then we'll just make sure everyone gets a turn.
Go
I
ahead.
want to use like the magical girl wand flashlight to basically like light this dude up in armor like a big giant blinding light to maybe like serve as like a distraction and temporarily blind the other cultists that are kind of like behind him.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say that would be a good one. Roll to... That would be Unleash Your Power, right?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say so. It's not
Because you're not
too much.
directly engaging.
Yeah, it's using the tools at my disposal, which is a flashlight. But it's a really nifty flashlight. Okay. Unleash my powers. Okay, well that is a 9 plus something. 10. Huh, it's
Nice.
a 10.
All right. So, Golden Boy's armor begins to glow vibrantly, and you can hear just like the sounds of discomfort from the guy in the armor, because like there's no way that he can look where it's not like blinding him from being worn. And he just starts yelling for them to begin their attack. At this point, I think that he would look towards you, Aurora, as like you and Cody are standing next to each other, and like through like squinted eyes, because again, very bright coming from his own armor, he cries out, face me, you coward. And he will attempt to like shoot off his chain hand in your general direction as well. So he is going to roll to directly engage, I believe. Or no, that's not. I don't roll anything in this game. That's right. Instead, I need... Why do I always forget things?
Because it's a weird system.
It
but
is
it's
a
awesome.
weird system. So, Cody, this is... You have the opportunity. Like, this thing's coming. It is faltering between you and Aurora. So you actually have the opportunity to take this hit if you would like.
Defend. Yep. I will protect.
Okay. So you go to protect. I believe you still have to roll to take a powerful blow.
Yeah. And I use danger instead of savior because Aurora is my love. Yeah, so 11 plus 3 is a lot.
That's 14.
14. Yeah.
Okay. So that is to defend. Yeah, and you feel this claw scrape bounce off against it. And this figure again just sort of howls in anger. With that, the other cultists are again like trying to disperse the crows, and it seems like most of the murder does not want to get burned, like as much as they are listening to Caleb. They also know that like Caleb's not going to be forcing them to stay if that means getting turned into dinner. They'd rather not. So Caleb, some of your murder is beginning to kind of like swarm away at that point. Luciana, is there anything that you would like to do? You've summoned a big wall, but it seems like that wall has been broken down, and you can actually see golden glowing armored man and then about 6 cultists in the back.
I think seeing that right now for like a few seconds the cultists are distracted, the wall's gonna come down, and then she's gonna try and do the same thing she did at the forest. She's going to try to throw this big armored man up, not necessarily away, but just up so they start falling and take like a few, like take damage.
Okay. Yeah, roll to unleash your power.
Unleash my powers. Be sure great if I had all this up. Unleash my powers. Freak. Let's see what I have for freak. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, so a 9. So let me see here.
Says on a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
So I think that you go and same thing as last time, you pop this guy up into the air. And as they are in the process of sailing, You see that a hood shield comes down over their head, and the arms that they have seem to like curl up on the central form of this machine that they are wearing as it turns into more of like a sphere. And then as they spin in the air and then fall back down, they land and roll, and as they roll, they just seem to pop back up. It seems like their suit, their system is built for, coming from way high up, possibly with the speed of a lightning bolt down onto the ground and then rolling out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Then I'll have that be my turn and let somebody else do something.
And you see that their front shield is down, but it actually is like a deepened black color, almost like they are using a kind of like non-reflective material like you would find on like cars that it's illegal to have your windows tinted that far, but they still do it anyways. Like it's like that, but from the hood shield.
Air Force pilot down shields, that kind of black.
It looks almost like a Legionnaire's helmet has been like etched onto the front of this, almost very similar to yours, Cody, but it seems like this is more like, again, sort of like etched into the glass itself.
I think at that Cody will be like, he'll use physics. What physics? And he'll just like do that dash slam shield thing into him to knock him back, thinking if his friends can take out the cultists and I can keep this guy busy, maybe we can all team up on him later. So I'm just gonna try to like I said, shield bash through him using physics. What physics? Okay, that's a 6 plus 3 is 9.
Seems like a good opportunity to use team. I think a couple of the crows, crow sees you charging and like whistles, and a couple of the crows just fly swiftly over to him and start cawing in his face, just to like catch him off guard enough for you to land your blow really solidly.
Okay. And when Cody hits him, he says, "I'm the Thunderknot," and he goes to say, "Bitch," but that's just not something Cody would say. So he says, "Baby," and it just comes out weird and awkward, particularly in that booming voice. That comes
like
out
the
of the
double
armor.
layer hero voice.
Yeah. So it's like, "I'm the Thunderknot, baby."
No, workshop it.
Okay. So you are the Thunderknot. You have just what physics into them. And I feel like, so you're like just shield up pressing against them, and they have brought their metallic claws down and are pressing against the shield, and it's like the frame that we see across the panel is the long one where it shows like their metallic feet scraping against the ground as you push against them. And when you say, "I'm the Thunderknot, baby," there's like a pause and a what? like they acknowledge that, like, what? What did you just call? Did you just call me baby? Like.
Okay, yeah.
They're both very confused.
Yeah.
That's exactly
like maybe like that's kind of the moment when like the crows start pecking and just like, oh, what the hell? Like he just wasn't expecting that, and then more birds. Okay, so yes, Cody as the Thunderknot is currently engaged with the Golden Man. Aurora. Or actually, no, Crow. Let's go with you, because Crow, you haven't done anything since you summoned the murder, and then you helped out with team, but you have not had your own standalone action. What does your panel look like?
Yeah, Crow rushes over to the murder swarming, And as he's rushing over, we see Mephistopheles fly out of the forest carrying a like heavy broomstick, but just the stick, no handle. And he drops it down to Crow, who immediately uses it to sweep the leg of one of the cultists. And as he slams to the ground, Crow pulls out a pair of handcuffs. Or at least that's the hope.
Okay. Now, I would say if you're just like pulling out a set of handcuffs,
because I want to like get him on the ground and then handcuff him so they can't do shit.
That would be to directly engage with a threat.
Yeah. It's going to be 9.
Okay, so a 9 when directly engaging with a threat.
I pick one, resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. I think surprise the opposition is probably the most accurate of these effects.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, again...
Or I guess I would like to avoid their blows by making it so that they cannot create blows to me.
So that would be creating an opportunity for your allies. You are considered an ally.
Or avoid their blows, right?
Or
is that only if they're engaging
so if
with
they're engaging
me?
you, like if it's like you're both fighting each other, but if you just like rush up to this dude and try and like latch his hands behind his back, like that's creating an opportunity because he can't use his hands anymore.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I would say that you are able to definitely throw the cuffs onto one of these cultists. And like there are enough like crows kind of flying around him that you just see them sort of like fall over onto the ground and they're not able to really move because again, a shit ton of crows are flying over them. It's not like they're in a position to like readily fight back, especially now that they've been handcuffed. Aurora, you have just seen Cody, then you know it's Cody, take this big hit from like this hooked claw and then rush forward, and he is currently engaged with like this giant glowing metal man. Glowing because your wand made him so.
Yeah, I think Aurora is going to focus on some of the smaller fry now. And is going to kind of run, like dash around the side of this metallic man and is going to run up to one of the cultists and with like the experience of someone who knows what they're doing is going to like kind of like juke to the side and like deliver just like a big old mighty kick to the chest.
Just like, are you going for the chest or are you going for like organs underneath the ribs? Like, or like the chin? Like, are you going for just like sensitive hurty bits on a person?
Oh yeah, we gotta go for the drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all
right, directly engage.
Do I have? Is there an audience watching?
There
still?
is. Yeah, it seems like again,
Yay.
like people once they got out of like the danger zone, the splash zone, if you will, like they were told to leave, but they're not going to. Especially your fans, like they just saw a trailer of you kicking ass against people like these. They weren't really here for the movie anyway. Like you have more, like there are more people in this audience than there were your last time.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because when people watch me, it makes me better. But I do have so I get to use superior instead of danger because I have people watching me. But I have a -2, so it's just gonna be a straight roll.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens. Well, we got a 4.
So
Ain't no +1 to that one.
No. So you can mark a potential.
Oh, good. This is secretly what I wanted.
All right. So, and then I believe when you fail, is it a condition and potential?
It doesn't say on my end
So
what
let me see.
what the GM gets to do when I
Let me
when
check.
I whiff.
When you whiff. Mark one condition, or no, that's for unleash your powers. Directly engage. Let me see. 7 to 9, you pick one. It does not say that you take any detriments other than the potential for failing. So you just aren't able to.
You're
I
now
think-
engaged with the target, and
Yeah.
I
they
think
can
it's
engage
possible
you.
that maybe like I take a powerful blow or something and have to roll for that. But I don't remember.
Let me see.
I was gonna say, in most of these games, when someone fails, it lets you go to your GM moves, but I can't remember masks enough to say what the GM moves are.
Yeah, I'm in the
Let's
same boat.
see.
I'm just like, I know I have consequences here. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So for directly taking, yeah, she rolls plus danger. She gets 8. Yeah, so it looks like they do hit back. So roll to take a powerful blow.
Hit me with your best shot. All right, let's see. That's just roll plus condition smart. All right.
And if that's not the case, audience, let us know.
Okay, so I rolled a 4 plus 1 condition is a 5. This is the one where you want to fail.
Yeah.
So on a miss, you stand strong, mark potential as normal, and say how you weather the blow.
Okay, so you're still going to be marking that potential. And then how do you weather the blow? So, like, I imagine you go and, like, what you said that you go to kick this guy. Was it like a high kick to the chin? Was it to the side? Like, where do you...
Fuck yeah, high kick to the chin,
Yeah,
baby.
high kick to the chin. I feel like they just sort of, like, dodge out of the way. And as you do, like, the wind from your foot kicking up definitely is enough to, like, move the hood up enough. So, like, you actually see a guy's face underneath. Like, it's not just like, faceless villain who's always shadowed. But, like, you see someone. Like, you don't recognize them. You don't know them at all. But, like, you have a face now. And, like, maybe later on that will come into play. But as you go to this high kick, they actually just reach up with a hand and keep your leg like at the full extent from where your kick is. And they just go to like shove it forward more. So that way you kind of like topple over off to the side. So that is the equivalent of yours. But like they don't anticipate like, okay, move it. Oh shit, this person knows how to do like a back handspring. Like your gymnastics
Fuck yeah,
class
she
paid
does.
off.
Fuck yeah, she does.
Like, again, gymnastics, all that shit. Like, you know how to do this. Like, what's good? We're here fucking fighting. And this guy, like, again, his hood went from being like this to, like, reveal a little bit of face, goes back down. So then you end up failing on the attempt to kick him, but you did get some more information. So then that was Caleb or Crow. That was Aurora. Aftershock, what are you currently doing?
I think she'll let Cody, not the Thunder Knot.
Thunder not, baby.
Baby. Deal with this big guy since there seems to be a face-off, and seeing that her other teammates are fighting against the cultists, they will make their way closer, and seeing what Caleb is doing, they're gonna take a page out of their book and try to trip them over, like create unstable ground. So then once they fall to the ground, they create basically, in Avatar The Last Airbender where he locks Fire Lord Ozai and like to the ground with like earth grafts on his arms.
Yeah.
Basically that, to kind of hold them down.
Okay.
So they can't attack.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, roll to unleash your powers.
Please. Okay. That's 8 plus something
It's 8 plus freak.
plus freak. It's a 9, but I'm gonna take a team point selfishly, and get it to a 10, so I can do my little power. So.
How do your actions insult or ignore us?
So Caleb is, to set the scene again, Cody is engaged with a glowing metal man. Aurora just did a handspring after, like, missing fighting a cultist in fisticuffs. And Crow has, like, he just has fucking, like, handcuffs. He just had cop handcuffs that he's, like, thrown on the back of one of these other cultists that he has managed to get onto the ground. So there are 4 cultists that have not been touched and are, like, still in the process of fighting off crows.
I think maybe instead of going to help Aurora, seeing that she kind of failed her move, even though she got back up, she just ignores it, and goes after her own cultists, basically.
Okay.
So I think that would be that's the most that makes sense to me. And then so ignore whatever's happening with Aurora and just try to take another cultist down.
You could also, you now can shift one label up and, well, you have to shift one label up and one label down.
Okay. I will do that.
And
Okay.
we have one team left.
One team. Speaking of a team of one, Cody, you are currently involved with this glowing armored man. And they say, and, like, I would say they look at you. You can feel them looking at you from the inside of, like, this sphered armor. And they say to you, "You are truly worthy of being a vessel. This fight is glorious, and my uncle shall be pleased when I return you to him."
Uncle. Sorry, I thought it was muted.
Do have a quick rules question.
Yes.
I had insecure marked. How long does that stay marked?
Until you clear the condition.
Perfect.
So,
okay.
yeah, you can either clear it by doing something, each condition has kind of a more, like, negative thing that you don't really want to do to, like, clear the condition on your own, or someone can, like, comfort and support you.
Okay.
Sometimes defending, I think, can help you clear a condition, and, like, some end of session moves can help you clear condition. So there are a few ways.
Yeah,
Okay.
it says you can clear condition when someone else comforts or supports you, or when you defend someone.
Okay. Cool.
So when did you get insecure? Do you remember? Was it last session that you got that one?
The first fight.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say you could clear off that insecure because you did defend Aurora earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would have technically been the clear condition.
All right. Okay. Then I will directly engage the threat. I will. Okay. Story, not move. So we're kind of in a standoff, kind of like a shoving match, and he's like.
He said that he will return you to his uncle.
Uncle, yeah, and Cody's just not clever and quippy yet. So yeah, he's gonna use that time to, like, try to slide beneath the guy, like, you know, he's kind of overtop him anyway, so he's gonna try to get under him and then, like, you know, military press him up so he's not on the ground anymore. He's gonna try to lift him. So directly engage is what I'm hoping to do. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Roll plus danger. Oh my god. So 5 plus 3 is 8.
Yeah,
8.
An 8. So that is not a success, but you are. So I think that, like, you go to lift, and as you are doing so, you have a shield in one hand still. So are you, like, trying to, do you, like, set the shield down to, like, two-hand it, or are you trying to, like?
I was trying to get the shield under, like, the underbelly, like kind of center the shield
Gotcha.
under him, and then lift up with the shield to balance him.
Gotcha. I think that as you go to like lift up with the shield, they just sort of like tuck their arms in again and then just sphere roll back a little bit, right themselves, and then weeble wobble. They're back ready to strike out towards you. And it looks like at this point, Cody, what you end up seeing is along this metallic suit of armor's body, the spaces between the metal plating, sort of like the lining, begins to glow with that same red that you had seen off of the lightning bolt that you now are kind of like, oh yeah, that thing that I saw like last week, that was this guy. Shit. You see like the lines of the armor begin to turn red as well as like this now red gold glowing creatures looking at you. And as they do so, they like you see their arms begin to shake, and as they do, electricity charges from it, and they are going to rake down and up and actually send out a wave of electricity towards you. You are in a line with Aurora, though, from where you had previously rushed off. So you know that if you do not defend yourself in this moment, that wave of lightning is going to continue on to your very, very mundane, for lack of a better word, friend who's behind you.
She's a hero, damn it. She's a hero.
But the other thing that you notice specifically about when this powers up, you see a symbol on the chest of this metallic creation. And it does not strike you as like the blacksmith symbol that you had seen before. This actually looks more like a spear. But almost like, not like a trident necessarily, but almost like a pike or a bident.
Got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I guess I take the hit so that it doesn't pass on to blast Aurora.
All right, so that would be roll to defend.
Okay. I've got the sheet here. Defend. There it is. Okay. Savior. Oh no. Cody's gonna take a big hit. So I'll read that in a second. I gotta look up Savior. Oh crap. I am currently at -1 on Savior. Okay. So that is 4 minus 1 is 3.
All right, Cody. So you fail in your attempt to defend someone.
Isn't Cody technically defending his love though right now?
Ooh, yeah. Defender. I rolled danger instead of savior. Thank you. So that is actually +3. So that's 4 + 3 is 7.
Okay.
Woo!
So on a threat, so to defend for PC threats, on a hit, give them -2 to their roll. On a 7 through 9, you expose yourself to cost, retribution, or judgment.
That's if it's PvP.
Gotcha. Okay, so on 7 to
So
9,
the
it
top
costs
part
you
is
expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. You can add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I will add 1 team to the pool.
Tootie.
Okay, so, Cody, you still take the full brunt of this electrical strike, and when you do, for a brief moment, your vision goes white, and you're standing in this field under, like, outside of what looks like an acropolis, like, off in the distance. There is a noonday sun, and there is a man standing in front of you that you kind of recognize the facial structure. They are also wearing this same gear. And in that moment, you recognize they have the same symbology upon them as well. But in this moment, you are not yourself. You are your guardian. You are the Thunderknot, baby. And you recognize that symbol as the symbol of Mars, god of war.
Okay.
And then we flash back, and it's you just like getting jolted, but you're still standing, still defending everything that you needed to. So
Awesome.
that was their attempt. The cultist that was engaged with you, Aurora, sees sees you, sees Cody, who's like still like going 1v1 against this metal man, sees crows like starting to arrest people. And they are going to disengage, and they are just going to start like, nope, don't want anything to do with this. I don't want to die today. Like, that dude looks crazy, and my boss is a glowing metal man. I'm good. He's going to try and escape. Then next up, so that was Cody and the golem's turn. It's just easier to call him a golden golem than a glowing metal man, or just the Agent of Mars. So the Agent of Mars and Cody are engaged. Crow, we haven't been with you in a while. Last we left off, you had just, like, citizens arrested a guy.
Yeah, for sure. And then I did it again.
All right, directly engaged to arrest yet another guy.
Yeah. 9 again.
Okay.
No, 10.
Okay. So same deal. It's getting a little bit easier now. It seems like their ranks are partially dispersing. Nobody's lighting the forest on fire, which is good. There's still a glowing metal man fighting Cody, but he seems like he has that handled. I mean, he just got electrocuted, but like, has it handled.
Yeah, totally. I want to make this one even more showy. And as I'm trying to decide what I do to make it more showy. Sorry.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
So as the pitch, birds are flying around up top. Guys are shooting, like trying to use their fire powers up. Hands are outstretched upward. If you, using your athletic ability, jump over, grab an arm, and then just like pull it back, they would get flipped onto their back, and you could quickly just like latch, and then prevent them from using said fire thing up above, landing them on their stomachs with their arms already behind their backs in one swift motion.
Yes. When you first started talking about having their hands up in my anime athletics, I was like, land on their hands and then smack them in the head with my stick.
Jump from, and then like run across their hands as they're outstretched.
No, just Thundercross split attack.
Okay. Another guy down and arrested. So that is one guy running away. 2 are arrested. One's engaged with, one, Luciana, you tried to?
I trapped them. Basically they're on the ground
Right.
and their hands are like in the earth trapped.
Okay, so there is now one cultist and the Agent of Mars that are still kicking.
As Crow does this, he yells at the Agent of Mars. The vessel isn't the only person you need to worry about.
Okay. Sounds good. Then Aurora. This, like, after your double handspring, the cultist that you saw their face of is actually in the process of running away. Is there anything that you would like to do to either stop them, or would you like to engage with the rest of the, ne'er-do-wells that are either still conscious or a giant suit of armor?
Yeah, no, I think she's going to say, like, something quippy at the dude as he runs away, which Kylan's brain can't think of at the moment, but just picture it as cool and like that'll teach you type of, you know, air about it. And yeah, I think she kind of looks over and sees that Cody is maybe like it seems like this agent of Mars is getting not necessarily an upper hand, but giving him like a little more trouble than a little more trouble than initially thought. What would you do? Yeah, I think she's going to try and like see if she can like scope this dude out while his back is kind of like turned towards her, to see if there's any sort of like weak spot in the armor or vulnerability that she could like surprise take advantage of.
Yeah, I would say that roll to assess the situation.
Okie dokie. What is my superior? Oh, that's good. That's good, superior. That's good. 8.
So with an 8, I rolled to the right one. So you want to figure out where they are most vulnerable to you. So as the arms have been coming up and like moving around, you know that when they fold back down, they are borderline impenetrable. But when they've been moving up, there is an exposed opening in like the armpit area from where this creature is. You're guessing that like under where the legs meet the lower chassis is probably similar. But when they're doing a lot of like overarm, like holding onto the shield, like they leave themselves exposed because they don't think that it is an exposed spot.
Yeah, so I think she's going to like run in at that point, and one of those points where this dude is like all overarm and is just gonna like use like her wand, like kind of a, I don't imagine it's like sharp, but I imagine maybe, you know, it has like stars and hearts and like cute little things. Something that'll like get in there and kind of like maybe like cut or disrupt this a little bit. Yeah, so trying to pinpoint that little spot right there.
Okay. So yeah, the spot has been pinpointed. I would say if you want to run up and like, if you don't want to tell your team about it, you want to run up and directly engage with a threat, I would let you do that. Even though it is like one action next to the other, I think that like those two are kind of like connected because you were like, I want to know where to hit him. All right, you know where. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, because I get +1 now for acting on the answer to my assessing the situation. So -2 +1 -1.
Yes.
+2 +1. I did all the math in my head. Let's go. Okay, that is a 7.
Okay, so a 7 to directly engage.
On a hit, trade blows. 7 to 9, pick 1. I would like to take like the functionality of like this arm that I have targeted from this person.
I feel like, so you have your rod, you have like your magical girl staff, and I feel like you shove it in, and a lot of it is like moving gears and almost like clockwork pieces. Like it's very mechanical. And when you shove it in, like the arm like stops where it is, but your rod is caught in that opening bit. And like keeping it there is essentially what is keeping that arm from moving. Like it can't go past that point because the teeth of the gears are like eating into the lower part of your magical girl wand.
Yeah, and she'll be like, guys, now's our chance.
Okay, so Aftershock. Luciana.
Sorry, I forgot it's muted. So if I use my powers, can I, instead of unleash a power, can I do a directly engage a target?
Describe how you're
Depending on-
directly engaging.
I think throughout the fight, she'll figure out that it's best to crowd control at this moment. And as I see my friends kind of getting up on this dude, I don't want to hurt them. What I want to do is kind of sink their feet into the ground.
Okay.
Like make the ground soft where they sink and then harden it back up.
Okay.
So they're stuck in one position and hopefully create an opportunity for the allies following in Aurora's suit.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Okay.
And are you doing that? And you're doing it on the
big guy.
Big guy. Okay.
The big guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. That is plus danger. Okay. Okay. 5 plus 6 is 11. Plus 1 is 12.
Okay, that is a success. So yeah, Aurora, you jab your magical girl wand in, the arm stops moving, and then you just see as like their body like sinks lower as the ground beneath them, almost like the frequency with which movies in the 90s warned me that quicksand was going to be a much bigger issue. This guy is currently experiencing while wearing this heavy metal suit that just sinks into the earth and then re-hardens.
Because I rolled a plus 10, I can pick 2. So I would like to do the create an opportunity for your allies and possibly take something from them.
Okay.
Like, is there something from their armor that Aftershock would think would be useful later on to track them on? Like a symbol that they could easily rip off?
There is, like, easily rip off. You can control the earth. I'm going to say, like, if you wanted to take one of the plates that they had, you were more than able to. You can see that they have a strange symbol. You've seen the other, like, cultists have, like, what looks like a blacksmith forge, like a blacksmith iron. But this guy has, like, this weird spear thing that seems to be on the front. And it is all singular plated, so if you wanted, like, have the earth basically just like rip that shit off. Yeah,
so I think they will have the armored man just sink kind of to their knees, and then the earth is gonna come up their armor and just rip it down.
Okay, so arm is no longer moving. They are trapped in the earth. Chest plate has been cropped open, and you can see like there is just more of this like wire, like it's mostly piping. Like there doesn't seem to be any like electrical wires. A lot of it just seems like it is like solid in place pipes that seem to be carrying something. Yeah, I mean he's like exuding steam and exhaust out of his back. Like that definitely seems more of his style. So they are currently trapped. Crow, there is still one guy who has yet to be handcuffed. It looks like the rest of your team has big old metal man taken care of.
Well then, it sounds like there's unhandcuffed hands that need to be handcuffed by yours truly. This time, I should roll before I start declaring anything. 10 again.
Not bad.
Hell yeah. So I would like to this time Crow whistles and his murder like disperses around this last cultist, and he says, "You're next," because he's trying to bait them into casting flaming hands at him. And as they do, he rolls under and just like slams up with both of the handcuffs and handcuffs this dude in the middle of extending his arms. and then just uses the chain to pull this guy straight forward.
Oh, yeah.
And onto the ground.
All right. So he gets pulled down onto the ground. The cultists are no longer a threat. Big Metal Man has been stuck in the earth. And as Cody, you are there, Aftershock is there, Aurora is there, and you're all three like looking at this figure that it took using everything that you had to try and defeat this. You hear a like hollow laughter coming from inside of the suit. And the figure says, "This has been glorious, combat vessel. You and your allies have done well. But soon you shall return to us, and when you do, my uncle will be pleased." And at that, you all hear what sounds like that thunderous horse clomping noise as the armor begins to glow, and it looks like it is about to explode. And then they just turn into this bright, vibrant light, and they are gone as a a bolt of red lightning seems to strike them directly and just take them up. Aurora, you still have the remainder of what was once your magical girl rod. The end bit has been completely destroyed and mangled from where you had shoved it in. You all still have that golden metallic front plate that was there, and all of these cultists have been arrested. And combat is over. However, we are going to have a slight vignette before we end tonight's episode. I know that we went much later than we normally go. April Fools, everybody.
We played more. We had more fun.
Aha!
You are the fool.
And it is the individual that Aurora, you had watched get away. And they are currently making their way out of the myth. And as they do, they are like looking over their shoulder and making sure that nobody is following them. And what they don't realize is that the forest, for being so disruptive back where it was, is incredibly still where they are now. And they do not have time or the wherewithal to look up at the trees that are just lined with all sorts of squirrels, raccoons, rodents, and they all seem to just be watching this individual run, not making a sound until he finds himself at a fountain, much like Caleb did at one point, as a woman who had been excited to see the Seven Samurai steps out and says, "All right, now you and I are going to have a talk. You understand that, right?" And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for this absolutely glorious game. I had a blast playing this game, but I always have a blast whenever these people are on the channel. KyleWithAnN, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hi, everybody. I'm KyleWithAnN, otherwise known as KyleWithAnN on Twitter and Twitch. You won't find me anywhere next week because I'm taking the week off, but normally where you can find me is Tuesdays, 6 p.m. EST. I stream video games on my own channel. Occasional Wednesday, you can find me on Playbooks and Pals. Also playing Masks. I play a Nova instead. He's a very good, sweet boy who sets himself on fire and is totally not like a metaphor for burnout. No. Thursdays, I'm here. I also have a few podcasts that I'm in. Cape Lorelei, Ecedo Beach, which are two sister city Urban Shadows actual play podcasts from Off the Table. You can get on Spotify, iTunes, and also let's talk about it with channel fave Cyberwolf 1201, where we get drunk, we talk about the games we play in, other things. You can find that on Anchor.fm and the YouTube. But yeah, thanks y'all.
And GB, where can we find you? What do you do?
You can find me, let's see, next up will be Sunday, where I'll be playing on my own channel here on Twitch, Greybeard Tavern, and we will be playing Griftlands still. We are about to reach the final character, so I don't know what we'll be playing after we finish. But that's at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, and then you can catch me a Tuesday night. I'll be on her Tuesday afternoon, I guess, happy hour at the Old Time Tavern over on Lantern Noir's channel, but you can catch those in podcast form. Happy hour at the Old Timer Tavern, on Spotify, Anchor, iTunes, that kind of thing. And that's it for me, GB.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan. You can find me here on Thursdays with these lovely people and this amazing storyteller, as well as on Sunday nights. I play with this amazing storyteller. We play around with the Frost meeting. Yeah, you. And once a month with the GP as well as other friends as we play Monster Noir. It's a very improv heavy, very fun. Was meant to be a one shot. Now we're running on 2 years. Game. You can also find me on weekends. At Saturdays, you can find me on Valdrian's channel where we play Dragon Age. So if you like horny on main groups, that's the group for you. And right after that, you find me over at Plot Hunters. We're an all LGBTQIA plus NPOC channel playing through Tyranny of Dragons. I think we're coming up on our final battle, so don't miss that. And then Sunday mornings you can catch me over at the Hype Goblin, where I GM my friends through my homebrew world, where we play loosely a game of Dungeons and Dragons. It's very improv heavy, a lot of role play. So if you like narrative heavy games, that's the game for you. I have amazing players that have amazing characters. And Mondays you can catch me over at Weave the Tale, where we're playing the Great American Witch, and I play Naneshka, my Hecate witch that reads your beer foam instead of your tea leaves.
I made a presumptuous claim at the beginning of this stream that you already know who it is. So for those of you who have not had the honor, it's me, your boy Reeves. You can find me here on Thursdays playing in this wonderful game with these wonderful people, or on my channel, Reeves_bot, on Sundays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, running the Super Sultan Brothers Super Sunday Show, where my boy Tom and I, and sometimes other good friends of mine, get together to play some video games. We were probably going to finish Fogs this weekend, which has been a great time. Weird stretchy dog puzzling. And then he doesn't know this yet because I just thought about it. Maybe we'll play some Binding of Isaac Repentance co-op to celebrate the release. So yeah, catch us there.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. That will probably end up running a little bit shorter because normally we have an extra half hour to do the show, at least. So we still got to be mindful of our East Coast peeps. So we are going to try and be quick about answering those questions, but don't worry, we will do our best. With that, I would like to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for joining us once again, and we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Goodbye!